everybody. I'm Bruce Parker from Lake Charles, Louisiana, bringing you this Montana State McNeese State football game. The #1 team in the country, the Cowboys of McNeese State University, and the Bobcats, the champions of the Big Sky Conference. Joining me tonight, Tommy White. Tommy, let's take a look at the Bobcat football team, a team that's going up against one of the best defenses in the country, and they need to establish the pass.
Well, I think that's absolutely right. I think the Southland Conference doesn't throw the ball as much as what we see in the Big Sky Conference. The strength of Montana State, however, is its run game with Ryan Johnson. But my belief is it's going to be important for Montana State to throw the ball and get that defense, that pesky defense for the McNeese State Cowboys back on its heels a little bit.
And also joining us, Marty Briggs from KPLC Television here in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Marty with Montana ties. And Marty, a very good football team and a great defense in McNeese State.
I'll tell you what, Bruce, the McNeese State defense is for real. They are fast, they are deep, and they are powerful. And while they get their power from a host of key performers, the heart and soul of this defense belongs to number 9. That's Hadley Print. They call him a strong safety, but he acts more like a linebacker, and you will see him around the football early and often tonight.
Well, this is what it's all about in 1AA football. It's decided on the football field, not in the polls. The Bobcats and the Cowboys should be a great one. Come back with us. We'll have the coin toss and the opening kickoff.
Checking in. Mary Landrew. Such a good family. Such a disappointment. We hoped he'd help those who can't protect themselves. But Mary's gotten too comfortable with Washington. Mary voted to keep a 70% tax increase on the Social Security benefits for working seniors. 70%. For some of us, Social Security isn't just a safety net, but our only means of survival. Call Mary Landrew. Tell her Louisiana working seniors can't afford that kind of help.
Every city has a story to tell, with plenty of news to go with it. Today more than ever, it's important to stay current and informed with the latest news and information. There are many sources available, but few deliver. Get the whole story for so little, a seemingly timeless source that you've depended on for years. The American press is still the best source for the most in-depth news coverage that matters most to you. It just makes sense to subscribe today.
Well, we're back at Cowboys Stadium where we're waiting for both teams to come on the field. The captains now making their way down as we get set for the coin toss. Bruce Parker, Marty Briggs, Tommy White, and Jeff Lasky along with us tonight in this 1AA football game. We're going to try to get you caught up on all the 1AA football scores from the first 7 games that were all day games. And Tommy, some upsets took place around the country.
Well, right now we can see that Murray State was beaten by Western Kentucky 59-20. Western Illinois defeated Eastern Illinois 48-9. Appalachia State was beaten by Maine 14-13. Georgia Southern, Bethune beat Georgia Southern, beat Bethune 34-0. Villanova 45-38 over Furman. And finally, Fort Ann 29-24 over Northeastern, and then I should say finally Montana defeated Northwestern State 45-14. So I'm sure that there are other teams around the country watching tonight's ball game.
And the Montana Grizzlies will have the winner of this one tonight. And Marty, Northeastern came in the number 4 seed playing at home. And Fordham, which was 0-11 2 years ago, comes back and picks up a playoff win.
Which just goes to show you, Bruce, that anything can happen during the 1AA playoffs. 1 year ago, the McNeese Cowboys, they were a high seed, and they played their first-round game right here at Cowboys Stadium. Nobody expected Maine to come in and beat the Cowboys, but that's exactly what happened. And now, once again, Maine is proving to be one of the top programs in 1AA football.
And the captains will meet at midfield for the toss of the coin. The officials this evening are from the Ohio Valley Conference. We had a chance to meet with them last night. And Tom, we had a chance to move around the tailgate a little bit. I don't think there's a friendlier place that I've ever been than right here in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
No, we can send a message back to our listeners in Montana that here in Louisiana, it is a friendly confine for Montana State fans to come. I've eaten everything from the Gulf of the beautiful seafood that you can have and taste here is fantastic, and there's plenty of tailgaters out there to give you and offer you anything that they have. The welcome arms have been open here for McNeese State Cowboy fans. It's been a great joy the last few days.
And Marty, to say the least, they know how to tailgate here. It started last night.
Well, of course, they always come out about Friday afternoon, and they start setting everything up, and they will go right up until kickoff, which is why they enjoy nighttime kickoff so much.
Well, I did notice, Marty, that once the sun set, it didn't drop 35 degrees, so that's a different thing than what we're used to in Montana.
It's almost downright balmy for you boys from Montana, isn't it?
58 is an extraordinary high this time of year during the day, and that's what I think we have right now.
And guys, we're expecting very close to a sellout here tonight. I think it's very important for the Bobcats, if they want to have a chance this evening, to take control of this game early and take the crowd out of it, because this is a very hostile place to play, and if they get behind early, it's going to get ugly for the Bobcats just because it is so loud in here.
And the Bobcats won the toss. They deferred till the second half. So the Cowboys from McNeese State, ranked #1 in the country, will get the opening kickoff to start this football game off. This stadium holds about 17,500 people, and they expect to be very close to that tonight. Marty, averaging over 16,000 for the season.
I'll tell you what, the first game of the year, August 31st against the Grambling Tigers, it was the first meeting between these two teams. They had over 20,000 folks in the stands. So, of course, you can imagine there was an overflow crowd. Folks were sitting on the hills that kind of ring the playing field, and it was just an electric atmosphere here that night.
There you see the Montana State huddle getting set before this one. Congratulations should go out to Joe Glenn and his Montana Grizzlies, last year's national champions, who came back in impressive fashion this afternoon, defeating Northwestern State in front of the big crowd at National Grizzly Stadium. The Grizzlies winning that one 45-14, and they will play the winner of tonight's football game here in Lake Charles, Louisiana. So the Bobcats will kick off. And back deep for the Cowboys from McNeese State is Jermaine Martin, who's the all-time leading receiver at McNeese State University, and he's going to be joined back there by Marcus Strahan.
Marcus Strahan is a young man from right here in Sulphur, Louisiana, which is just outside Lake Charles. Jermaine Martin from Lafayette. The man is very small. He's only 5'6", 147 pounds. Well, let me tell you something. He is powerful on the football field.
And Nate Cook will kick off for Montana State, and we're about set to go with the 8th and final 1AA playoff game of the first round. Very short kick up in the air.
Well, I can say that that was not an intentional kick. I think Nate Cook just simply dipped under the ball, and that gives McNeese State excellent field position. It looks as if they will start on their own 39-yard line, not the design play by Montana State. They've had difficulty from time to time with their kicking game, and that's certainly not what Mike Kramer had intended or drew up on the board before they came out.
So the Cowboys, a very balanced offense with the run and the pass. Scott Pendarvis will lead things out from his huddle. His center is Jason Davis at 6'1", 332 pounds. Pendarvis will go right back to pass, and he's being chased by John Montoya. And he is smacked at about the 42-yard line and pulled down by David Smith.
Well, I think it's a surprise to see the McNeese State Cowboys come out looking to throw the ball right away, first down and 10. Very well covered by the secondary at Montana State. Came up from the support of David Smith to finally make the tackle, but I think that it was looking to the outside receiver and Willie Jacobson starting at the cornerback spot, left to right cornerback spot, was able to confine the coverage and give Pendarvis no open lanes to throw.
Now the dangerous man is Jermaine Martin. He's caught 31 balls this year, and he's picked up man-to-man by Joey Thomas. And on second down, they go off to Vic King. Vic King, the leading rusher for the Cowboys, and he's very dangerous.
That's right. He's the Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Year, also the Player of the Week against Jacksonville State and against Southwest Texas State, averaging 94.7 yards per game.
And about 4 yards on the carry for Vic King. So that'll bring up a third down and about 4 for the Cowboys of McNeese State. Came into the ball game with a 10-1 record. Their only loss to Nebraska, 38-14 earlier in the season. From the shotgun, Pendarvis on third down and about 4. Gets the blitz, throws the ball off, and it's a little bit overthrown. Good pressure there for Montana State.
Well, Britt Brohead came from the left split-in position and was trying to run a slant route. Great coverage in the sack or area of pressure by John Montoya. Willie Jacobson, they're looking at him twice, and he has stood the test thus far in the defensive pass coverage for Montana State, forcing McNeese to punt.
Looks like Pendarvis also a little jacked up. He threw that one a little too hard, I think.
Got to be fired up for the playoffs. Jason Cook will kick for the Cowboys of McNeese State. Corey Smith, the very dangerous return man, second in the country, will be on the return for Montana State. And he fumbles the football, but he falls on it at about the 10-yard line.
Really, it appeared to be excellent coverage by Javon Burns. He was the sprint man from McNeese State. He had the eyebrow of Corey Smith looking at him as Corey Smith was apparently attempting to catch that fumble or that punt. It was a nice, well-driven punt.
McNeese has a habit of capitalizing on an opponent's mistake, so a fortuitous bounce there for the Bobcats.
So the Bobcats will start with the ball 1st and 10 on their own 11-yard line, and there's the freshman, Travis Luley, a true freshman, who was recently named the co-newcomer of the year in the Big Sky Conference. So on 1st down, the Bobcats from their own 11. Ryan Johnson, the lone setback, and the Bobcats will go right to the air. And they go down deep to Aaron Hill. Hill makes the catch and drops the football.
Well, it was apparently looking to be a catch, but it was the stalemate for the defense, Hadley Prince, that ultimately broke up that pass play on Aaron Hill. You can see the ball well lofted, outstretched arms of Aaron Hill right there, and Hadley Prince is there to break it up, which seemed to be a reception, but Hadley Prince is the defensive stalwart that brings the wood, if you say, for the McNeese State Cowboys.
Hadley had to drop back a long way, and he had nice support there from Ashiel Fairchild.
A rodeo star, Hadley Prince, his uncle Rocky Prince, a former standout on the Bobcat rodeo team in Bozeman. 2nd down 10 for Montana State. Luley will go from the shotgun. And again to throw, here comes the blitz.
Well, Bruce, we should note, that being the first sack of the ball game, that Montana State comes into this game a little beaten up on the offensive line. Ryan Henning, who at one point was a 26-game starter from Montana State, however, has not played for the last 7 or 8 games, is starting at center in place of Nick Stevenson, who has really had a difficult shoulder injury. And then also Montana State last week, late in the ball game against Montana, lost Mateo Toyola to a left knee injury, so they're starting the freshman Jeff Bolton at the left guard spot.
So now 3rd and 14 for Montana State, the ball on the 7-yard line. Luley will throw from the end zone. Here comes the blitz. On the run, he'll get back up to close to the 10-yard line. And that's where the Bobcats will be forced to punt. Here we take a look at it, guys, and just good pressure by this talented McNeese defense.
Rod Royal was the guy who ultimately brought Luley down. He's the transfer from the University of Florida, has made a big impact on the Cowboys defense this year. I'll tell you what, gentlemen, we're seeing that fast McNeese defense at work right now.
So Nate Cook will punt for the Bobcats, averaging 40 yards per punt. On the season, he'll kick out of his own end zone. Dusty Dawes, the long snapper. And it's a good snap, not much pressure, and Cook shanks it.
Well, gentlemen, we can't blame that one on the weather.
No, and I'll tell you what, that's 2. Poor kicks for Montana State that have put their defense in a tough spot.
Montana State had a great deal of difficulty early on in the kicking game, and they've been able to avoid that the last part of the season, but now they're coming back.
We'll take a break. No score from Cowboy Stadium, McNeese and Montana State.
What do we really know about Susie, a paid lobbyist for a foreign drug company while on the New Orleans City Council? Now she says she supports the National Republican Party 100%, even though their policies on steel have cost Louisiana thousands of jobs, could devastate our sugar industry, and would privatize Social Security. 100% Susie, a rubber stamp for policies that hurt Louisiana. Tell Susie she should put Louisiana, not party politics, first.
Where should you go for professional legal help? Here's some advice. Don't judge an attorney or a law firm by the size of their telephone book ad or the looks of their office. Make your decision based on the experience of the attorney as well as their firm's track record and reputation for handling cases similar to yours. With so much at stake, it'll be worth your time. Remember, choose your lawyer carefully.
At the Popeyes Chicken Festival, you won't find any deals on buckets of bland, boring chicken. Just Popeyes kicking New Orleans-style chicken. This chicken rocks! And right now, you can get special deals on Popeye's unique flavor. Get 3 pieces in a biscuit for only $2.79. That's 3 pieces in a biscuit for only $2.79. Or get Popeye's Friars dozen. Not 12, but 13 pieces of Popeye's chicken for only $10.99. That's 13 pieces for only $10.99.
Pendarvis will hand to Vic King, and he cuts up the middle. Is hit and dropped. Nice stick there for Montana State, and that was Kane Ione, a first-team All-Big Sky Conference pick out of Billings Skyview and the leading tackler in the Big Sky Conference, a lot like Hadley Prince.
Very much so. Hadley Prince, once again, as I said in the top of the show, the heart and soul of this McNeese defense. There are other talented performers, but he's just the glue. And whenever a team has somebody like that, you can count on some good things.
Vic King picked up about 2 on first down. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. They go off the lot, and the big fullback. And when I mean big, Tommy, 6 foot, 248 pounds. He does a lot of blocking, but he's also rushed for 321 yards and 6 TDs.
Well, expectedly, the Cowboys are going to bring it right at the heart of the defense, and Kane Ione, like Hadley, is going to have to step up and make a lot of linebacker-type plays. And with a fullback like that, who also is an excellent pass receiver, catches the ball much like a tight end at that size. He's got 29 yards average rushing per game, but he's also got 19 receptions on the season.
So now 3rd down and 5 for the Cowboys from the shotgun. Pendarvis will go off and pass the football.
That's Vic King.
Well, Vic King was simply on a swing play out to the right sideline. Roger Cooper, the talented linebacker for Montana State, you'll see is in coverage, but the elusive Vic King is able to cut it back very quickly and find the end zone. Clearly, he knows how to smell that end zone and get there fast.
So the Cowboys take advantage of the poor Montana State punt, great field position, and they move out to an early lead in this football game. With 9:10 left here in the first quarter, John Marino in to attempt the extra point. The ball is kicked out. It's up and good. So with 9:10 left on our PPL Montana scoreboard, the Cowboys, McNeese, on top over Montana State.
2 days after promising to run a positive campaign,
would you agree to run only positive commercials?
Mary Landreau broke her word again, falsely attacking Susie Terrell. The truth? Landreau voted to gut the president's tax cut 20 times, supported higher taxes on Social Security, and even opposed job-creating tax relief for small business. Mary Landreau believes your tax money is better spent where she lives, in Washington, D.C.
Years of heart care experience. Complete cardiac care, from diagnostics to rehabilitation. Leading cardiovascular surgeries. State-of-the-art technology. Care you can receive 2.5 hours away or 10 minutes away. Christus St. Patrick Regional Heart Center. Home to heart care.
We'd like to tell you about our mom, Suzanne Terrell.
Susie Terrell.
Because she's running for Senate.
First, she's a working mom, but sometimes she's such a mom.
And she's honest. She's not really a politician.
Chrissy.
If she makes a promise, she keeps a promise.
And she expects the very same thing of us. She's always been there for us, no matter what. She can be tough, but she has a really good heart.
And after 3 teenage daughters, I think she can probably handle Washington.
On that last play, he was able to cut, whereas Cooper had the full steam going and wasn't able to slam on the brakes. However, there's also a huge divot where King made his cut, so as the game goes on, the field's going to get more and more torn up. Bruce?
Thanks a lot, Jeff. And we're set to go. Marino will kick off. Corey Smith back deep along with Michael Williams. Kind of a squib kick, and it's going to come down to Williams, the speedster out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So that's Corey Smith with the football. And Smith is dangerous. Corey Smith still on his feet, up close to the 38-yard line. So Tommy, Montana State now will start in good field position.
Well, Corey Smith is the fastest Bobcat at 4.3 in the 40. You can see his elusiveness. And he's also got Michael Williams leading the play there. Get some confusion going, and now Corey Smith turns on the jets as he gets to the sideline. Mr. Speed for Montana State had one man to beat, and it was Jovan Burns, and Burns did a nice job pinning him to the sideline.
So Montana State now will start 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. The lone setback is Ryan Johnson. Johnson has not carried the ball as of yet on the first series. He'll get a call here. The all-time leading rusher is going to be hit and blocked.
Gentlemen, you notice how McNeese State is stacking that line. They're almost daring Montana State to throw the ball. Rod Belly comes up and makes the tackle.
But Artie, I think that's the key to the game is that it's clear that McNeese State is very good against the run throughout its conference season. It's incumbent on Montana State to show them some of the big sky top type passing offense that Montana State is used to defending, and they're going to have to play that game to get McNeese State to defend that, and then maybe they can start opening up the running alleys for Ryan Johnson.
Now, Rod Gully, a good sure tackler, but he also has 8 interceptions this season. He's returned 2 for touchdowns. Here comes the blitz, and Lule will run. Lule up over the 40-yard line, and that's the elusiveness that he's brought to the Montana State offense.
Lule is a 4'6" type of player at the quarterback spot. Usually you're not seeing that kind of speed. And he's also pretty doggone big at 6'2", around 200 pounds, and he possesses a great deal of poise. As you can see, he knows when to vacate the pocket and get upfield and try to minimize whatever losses are being presented by a pass rush.
Now 3rd down 7, Montana State, as the crowd picks up the noise here at Cowboy Stadium. We're glad you could join us for this NCAA Division I AA playoff football game. Cowboys looking to blitz, and here they come with it. Short drop. Lule gets it off, and a short gain for Montana State.
Well, it's excellent coverage. It was clear that Aaron Hill was running an inside crossing route, but Keith Smith from the right cornerback spot was all over Aaron Hill after he makes the catch. You can see that Smith will be trailing Aaron Hill and close up the catch for no gain, at least a minimal gain, and prevent the first down, and Montana State will have to punt, which will always be an adventure apparently tonight.
Yeah, Nate Cook back deep for Montana State to punt, his 2nd punt of the ball game. As we said, a good crowd on hand at Cowboy Stadium, about 58 degrees at kickoff time. A good snap, and this time a much better punt for Nate Cook, and a fair catch signaled for. And taken right there by B.J. Sams, a very dangerous return man.
We've seen him many times throughout the year, especially early in the season in a victory over Youngstown State. Sams was a one-man wrecking crew. He scored a couple of times. He also returned a couple of kicks for scores in the early part of the season. So when he gets the ball in his hands, he can be a dangerous individual.
Well, like Bruce had mentioned earlier, Sams appears to be the all-purpose back. He's going to catch the ball, run the ball, and then on special teams, the return man, he is averaging 118 yards all-purpose.
We've got a new backfield. Jacob Prim comes in with Darren Ostelet blocking for him.
And Prim will get the carry on first down. He's hitting the backfield, keeps his feet, then he's swarmed by white jerseys. That's good penetration initially by Roger Cooper of Montana State.
Yeah, it seems that Roger Cooper caused the confusion, and then as any good linebacker should do, David Smith came up and made the final closing tackle. But again, that front 4 for Montana State, although not big, very quick and athletic, and that may cause some problems because the McNeese State Cowboy offensive line is big.
Roger Cooper, a first-team All-Big Sky selection along with John Montoya. And on 2nd down, Pendarvis has to throw it, and it is a lateral behind the line of scrimmage. No question it was a lateral.
And they're calling that an incomplete pass.
Wow. I'd like to see this one over again.
And we're going to get a chance, but it's on the pressure. You can see Jason Nicastro all over the face of the McNeese State Cowboy Pendarvis. But you're right, Bruce. It appears from our vantage point that that was clearly a pass behind the line of scrimmage and behind the quarterback where he threw the ball, but nobody seemed to even play it as that. Even Roger Cooper, who didn't identify it as a fumble.
So Pendarvis now gets hit, but he gets a break there. This time he'll go from the shotgun on 3rd down and 12 for McNeese State, leading the Bobcats 7-0. Pendarvis, short drop's going to go deep downfield, has the ball up in the air. The ball was intended for B.J. Sams.
Kane Ione on excellent coverage. They're running crossing routes, Montana State and McNeese State, running crossing routes, and it's really incumbent on those wide receivers to accelerate through their breaks, but the secondary is doing an excellent job.
Pendarvis has been the starter all year. He certainly has some experience under his belt, but I think he's really excited about tonight. Seems to be throwing the ball just a little bit high and over his receivers.
Jason Cook will punt for the Cowboys. Back deep is Corey Smith. Good snap from center, and Now this time it's Cook's turn to get the bad punt off, and it's going to fall dead at about the 49-yard line.
Cook's punt rolls out of bounds at the...
So Montana State will have the football, but not before we take a break with 5:43 left on the PPL Montana scoreboard. It's McNeese State 7, the Bobcats 0.
All righty.
She stands in the face of evil and will not lose hope or faith. America, the land of freedom, is still the home of the brave. So raise the banner, call no glory. Let us join our fellow man. History will write the story. America will always stand. History will write the story. America will always stand.
And we're back. And we're back at Cowboy Stadium where the Bobcats have the football, 1st and 10 on their own 49-yard line. Good field position after the poor punt by Jason Cook. And on 1st down, it's Ryan Johnson, the all-time leading rusher for Montana State. Pounds are going tough there as he is hit by Tyree Broden after a short pickup for Montana State.
Guys, I think it would be very important for the Bobcats right now to march down the field and put some points on the scoreboard just to try and neutralize the crowd and offset the early touchdown by the Cowboys.
So they're going to say it's a gain of 1, Tommy, so 2nd down and about 9 for Montana State.
I would suspect you're going to see Montana State start to throw the football. This seems to be a prime opportunity, 2nd and a long.
Lule, the quarterback, has Ryan Johnson in the backfield. Junior Adams is split to the left side. Lule will throw and has lots of time. Gets the ball off, and it was intended for Junior Adams, and a flag's coming down. That's going to be pass interference.
Keith Smith, I thought, was riding the back there just a little bit too much. I wondered if we might not see a flag.
Well, from high atop our view, we can see that it did appear that Keith Smith started to press into the back Junior Adams right there as he's running the crossing route. The silly thing is, it didn't appear that he needed to make that push.
There's the call by our referee from the Ohio Valley Conference, and we're going to try to get down to Jeff Latsky here very shortly on the field tonight. You know, sometimes the games in late November, it wouldn't be great to be on the sideline, but tonight it is. About 58 degrees here in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Slight breeze coming out of the north, but very slight.
1st and 10, Montana State, their first down of the ball game. Ryan Elliott, the fullback, Ryan Johnson in the backfield. Trying to get outside, and boy, the speed of this McNeese State defense is outstanding as Fairchild there to just string it out.
Montana State is very basic in its run plays. They run stretch, right or left, and they're just trying to zone block, get their offensive line rolling, as they're saying, downhill. But McNeese State is showing that they've got excellent speed and penetration.
That's a Shield Fairchild who strung it out there for the Cowboys. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Montana State. And from the shotgun, Travis Lule, the quarterback, all alone in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. They're going to go quick on the middle screen. It goes to Junior Adams, and he's going to be pulled down quickly. And that's by Rod Gooley.
Gentlemen, if you notice, McNeese has a whole new group of personnel within this game, all new linebackers and some down linemen. One of the reasons they have so much depth is because they play so many people throughout the year.
Well, at this point in the season, late, both these teams are playing 11, 12 games. It's all about who's healthy, and I think that's an excellent point to make, Marty, is that the teams that excel in 1AA this time of year, number one, have depth, and number two, have not lost some of their key players to injury.
Third down now, 11 for Montana State. Football on the McNeese 40-yard line. The ball is intended for Scott Turnquist, just a little bit behind Turnquist, so that'll bring up a fourth down for Montana State.
Well, it's apparent that Montana State is amped up a little bit. Travis Lulay, normally very accurate, clearly threw that ball behind his intended receiver, Scott Turnquist, running a quick slant from his inside slot receiver position. It didn't take advantage, that is, Montana State, of the excellent field position, only moving it 9 yards.
And Nate Cook will go back to punt for Montana State. Very, very short drop for Nate Cook.
Tell you what, that would have been a heck of a play, and it worked.
Justin Mobley, you called it, Bruce. It was kind of triggered to the sense that Nate Cook was up close. Justin Mobley plays for free safety, but he transferred to Montana State from New Mexico, and he was a quarterback starting in New Mexico as a freshman.
And it appears we'll take a break from Cowboy Stadium. So with 3:18 left on the PPL Montana scoreboard, the Cowboys on top over the Bobcats.
If you've been on a collision course, go to the source for collision repair, Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center. As an ICAR certified collision repair center with ASC certified technicians, Lloyd Lau puts 28 years experience into the repair of all automotive makes and models, including motorhomes and diesel rigs. All paint and body work is a lifetime guarantee, and you can take advantage of fleet contracts and discounts. And they even have experienced insurance claim handlers to help ease all your worries. Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center, 2906 Napoleon Street, Sulphur.
Folks, only a store's biggest home furniture can offer you retail's best furniture financing. Then in a huge single-day store-wide sale, bring you the biggest reductions of the year. Tomorrow only, beginning at 12 noon, buy on sale new furniture, bedding, accessories for every room of your home. And folks, your money out of pocket, zero. That's no monthly payments. Interest or down payments till January 2004. Look for a big ad in today's papers. Incredible buys from $75 curios and jewelry chests to sofas, bedroom recliners, bedding, and more. Home furniture is huge. December store-wide sale tomorrow.
Welcome home. This that car buyer, but in the bar has some fantastic holiday news for you. Chevrolet just extended fuel financing for 5 years. Zero down payment and no payments until February 2003. For the retirement in November, 000, no interest, no down payment, and no payments until February. And these tremendous savings to better the buyer's already low value prices, and we'll enjoy the holiday season and a new Chevrolet with payments and savings you don't want to miss. Shop and save, visit Billy Chevrolet in Lake Charles and Southland. Wasn't a bad throw there, Tom, and the ball was right there, but just good coverage by McNeese State.
Well, like I said, Justin Mobley, he has played quarterback in the WAC, and he has had the arm strength to throw the football. Did a nice job, but McNeese State did not buy into the faith at all.
Marcus Trahan with the carry there. He's part of the triumvirate that runs the football for the Cowboys.
And he picks up some good yardage. Joe Trahan on the season with averaging 5.4 yards per carry. 357 yards on the season and
66 carries and 4 touchdowns. Jacob Prim, the backup tailback, 427 yards. And Vic King, 1,042 yards. Second down 8 now for the Cowboys from their own 43-yard line. Pendarvis will throw, gets the pressure, and he's going to go down. So the Bobcat defense, John Montoya, and it looked like Adam Cordero, Jason DeCastro, and a host of others for the Cats.
Bo Clark
also.
You see Bo Clark and Montoya come in. Excellent pass pressure by Montana State's defensive line. They are very speedy up front, athletic, and they're showing their speed. And that's been a big question mark for this game up against that run. But it was, again, looking as if McNeese State was going to try to throw the football.
They were going to try and throw it downfield and set something up, but they just took too much time.
3rd and 15 now for the Cowboys. They're going to fake the handoff. And they're going to try to go back now that he has a football, and that's, I believe, that's Marcus Trahan, and he's going to be real close to first down yardage.
Trahan, one of the local products from right here in Sulphur, Louisiana. He walked onto the program 4 years ago and has made a very solid contribution to this team.
The speed that Trahan shows there to get to the perimeter is extremely fast, and however, Montana State did just enough to come up in run support and stop the gain of the first down and forcing, apparently, McNeese State to kick the football.
Jason Cook will come in to punt for the Cowboys. Back deep is Corey Smith for the Bobcats. We've already seen one fake punt here this afternoon, or this evening. Good snap from center. Cook, who had a poor punt his last time, this time rockets it towards Corey Smith. Smith at about the 14-yard line, and he's going to be pulled down, and here come the flags.
Looks like we got a face mask on that. But boy, the Cowboys got down there fast.
Boy, they have such great team speed. We would like to welcome our stations around the state of Montana. First on Omega Sports Productions around the 94 outlets around Montana. And also on Eagle Communications with KECI TV in Missoula, KCFW in Kalispell, KTVM in Butte and Bozeman. And joining the Eagle stations statewide are Color 8 Television in Billings, KFBB TV in Great Falls, and KHBB TV in Helena, along with KPLC here in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Don't worry, I had your back. If you didn't mention it, I was going to throw it in there.
Marty Briggs, Tommy White, Bruce Parker, along with Jeff Lasky. Let's go down to the sideline now to Jeff Lasky.
Hey, Bruce, you mentioned how great it is to be on the sidelines, but it is also loud down here, and that's causing some problems for the Bobcats. After the Cats' last series, there was some discussion on the sidelines. They're having problems hearing. After a while, Coach Kramer came down and just challenged them to figure it out and get it done. So we'll have to see how they deal with the noise on this series. Bruce?
Thanks a lot, Jeff. It is very loud. They call this the Montana of the South. It's going to be a penalty against Montana State and a personal foul face mask against McNeese State. Now, Marty, we've been corrected a couple times. If you're not from here, you say McNeese State. If you're from Lake Charles, you call it McNeese State.
McNeese State. I've never picked up that habit myself, but anybody who attends these games will tell you it is McNeese State. Almost pronounced as if there's an A in there.
I looked for it. I kept looking at this program and all kinds of other things.
In fact, a few years ago in our great team of 97 that made it to the national championship game, USA Today did a story about that, and they said, folks, if you're in Lake Charles, Louisiana, you pronounce it McNeese State.
And the great tradition here with 1AA football, McNeese State has been to the 1AA playoffs. This their 10th time since 91. 10 times they've been to the 1AA playoffs. Tonight's game is the second time Montana State's been there, Tommy.
Yeah, second time, 1984. 18 years is a long stint, so clearly McNeese State has the advantage in knowing what is done here in the 1AA playoffs.
This is the third consecutive year the Cowboys have made it to the 1AA playoffs. Amazingly, though, they have not won a first-round playoff game since 1997, so they certainly would like to crack that streak tonight.
Well, I'm a little bit mystified on the penalty. There was a face mask and a block in the back. And they didn't mark off the face mask, but they marked off the block in the back.
Well, Montana State lost the war of negotiation there. There was a lot of discussion, as you saw Montana State's captain, Kane Ione, exchanging conversation with the officials here tonight. But in the end, Montana State will take the ball first and 10 on their own 8-yard line, it appears.
Look how the Cowboys are stacking the line. They're going right for the football, folks. They're going to go right after Lule.
And the other times Montana State's run this, they brought the house. So Lule will not have much time to throw. Here they come again. Lule over the middle. Has it to Junior Adams, and it's caught for a first down.
Well, that's the go-to, Junior Adams. If he can find one-on-one coverage, you'll see Lule spot it right away. As Marty mentioned, it's a clear blitz by McNeese State. Lule has to find a one-on-one advantage, and he did so, finding his favorite receiver, Junior Adams, going one-on-one, and Junior Adams comes up with a big catch to get Montana State out of a hole in first and 10.
First and 10 now for the Bobcats on their own 21-yard line. 55 seconds left here in the first quarter. McNeese State leading it 7-0. Lule on first and 10 for Montana State. We'll go to Ryan Johnson. Johnson hitting the backfield and dropped.
That's just a line dominating one other line. The Cowboys really got in there in a hurry. That's B.J. McNutt, the senior out of Houston, Texas. First team All-Southland Conference, 34 tackles this year.
You look at the defensive tackles, which cannot be rivaled really in the Big Sky. B.J. McNutt at 6'4", 304 pounds, and then right next to him, Don Parson, 6'3", 285. It's a defense that is built to stop the predominant Southland Conference running attacks.
John Paul Jones signed with LSU out of high school. I don't know exactly what happened with his situation, but the Cowboys are certainly glad to have him.
Second down, 12 for the Bobcats. The ball on their own 19-yard line. And a whistle, and that'll be the end of our first quarter. So we've played one in Lake Charles at Cowboy Stadium. And on the PPL Montana scoreboard, it's 1AA football playoff. The Cowboys from McNeese State over the Bobcats of Montana State, 7-0.
Louisiana is a small state. We can't afford to start over and lose Mary Landrieu's position of power on the Appropriations Committee, where Mary's delivered so much for Southwest Louisiana. She now chairs the Committee on Terrorist Threats and is a real leader on the Energy Committee, vital to our state's economy. Mary has voted for tax cuts for our working people and has always protected Social Security. Mary puts Louisiana first. We just can't replace her effectiveness or her experience.
Kite Brothers has achieved it again. We have received the Circle of Excellence Award for the 11th consecutive year. Satisfying customers like you has accomplished this achievement. Not only do we sell the best RVs on the road today, we also provide the best possible service after the sale. Kite Brothers has the largest inventory in the area, ranging from travel trailers, fifth wheels, mini motorhomes, Class A's, to the big diesel pushers. Drive to Dorita today and you'll see how for over 40 years Kite Brothers has given you the best selection, service, and price around. Kite Brothers RV Center, Dorita, USA.
Looking for rewarding home improvement for the holidays or just some everyday relaxation? Picture yourself in a soothing, therapeutic hot spring spa. Its exclusive motor massage jet gliding gently up and down your back. For enjoying company of family and friends or savoring time alone, a hot spring spa rejuvenates. Sabine Pool's wide selection guarantees your perfect fit. Imagine the pleasure of a hot spring spa for the holidays and all year round. They're on sale now for backyard living at its best.
You'll find it at Sabine Pools.
And we're getting some first quarter stats. Got them off real quick. Wells Fargo celebrating 150 years of helping customers and communities succeed financially. Wells Fargo. Travis Lulay now on second down and long. He's going to go on the quarterback draw. Has lots of room, but it closes very quickly. As there to make the stop was Fairchild once again. And I'll tell you, Marty, Fairchild has shown great speed.
I'll tell you, this kid has come in as a freshman out of Baton Rouge. He has played significant minutes since his freshman year. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He doesn't appear to be the fastest, but he is always around the football.
Well, and you saw Travis Lulay run there. He is the second leading rusher. He has 175 yards on the season. Very few of them are play design draws like we just saw there, but he has the speed, and he may run more this game.
Third down and 4 now for Montana State, as Lulay will have Johnson and Elliott in the backfield. Junior Adams and Aaron Hill were split wide, and here's the pressure again, and he's going to get dropped.
Guys, here's this telling stat from the first quarter. Montana State, 7 carries, only 2 yards. McNeese is really closing down their running lanes.
That's John Paul Jones showing the speed and the strength of getting through the interior. Look at the no quit in him, and comes up and closes down Lulay as he tries to step up in the pocket.
After this play, we'll get down to Jeff Lasky on our sideline tonight. We're high above Cowboy Stadium as Nate Cook will get set to punt. B.J. Sam's back deep for the Cowboys of McNeese State. Just underway here in the second quarter. Bruce Parker from the 1AA football playoffs in Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's a low-line drive, and it's going to get by Sam's, and it hits and stops, and it's going to roll dead at about the 41-yard line. Let's go down on our sideline to Jeff Lasky.
Bruce, right now on the far end of the Cowboys bench, Vic King is sitting with his pads off and some ice. He bruised his shoulder on that last series. They're not sure how serious it is or if it would affect his play, but they're going to keep the ice on, and they're going to hold off on putting him back in until they can figure out how bad that bruise is. Bruce?
Thanks a lot, Jeff. That'll be a tough loss for the Cowboys of McNeese State.
Believe it or not, I don't know how much of an impact that will really have. Sure, they'll miss his talent, but they've got 2 other guys who can step in and move the football for him.
And Darvis will throw and finds his receiver, and it's caught. And that's the man we talked about early. That's Jermaine Martin, his 32nd catch of the season. And that one good for very close to first down yardage.
Well, Jermaine Martin is running from his left wide receiver spot, an inside curl against the toughest defender for Montana State in pass coverage, Joey Thomas. But Jermaine Martin, 5'6", 147, very quick, precise routes, difficult to defend, and he proved it there in a very nice pass thrown on time by Pendarvis.
And he's the all-time leading receiver in McNeese State history, and it's been a very storied history. As they measure the football, it appears it's going to be a little bit short.
Well, there's two things that happened there, and that Jermaine Martin ran an excellent route, but in coming back to the football, he took himself out of first down reception.
So second down and short now as they ball now in Bobcat territory, just shy of the 49-yard line. McNeese State, coached by Tommy Tate, who's done a lot here at McNeese State for the Cowboys. He was a player, an assistant coach for a lot of years, and is now 26-9 in his third season as the head coach of the Cowboys. Of course, the Bobcats, coached by third-year man Mike Kramer, the Co-Big Sky Conference Coach of the Year.
Tommy Tate, a lifetime member of the Cowboys, and he's done a good job with this team.
And they're going to give the ball off to the fullback.
Andrew Roban on the carry.
No question, good enough for first down yardage. Andrew Roban picks up about 1 yard, but it's enough for a first down.
You folks in Montana would pronounce that Robin, of course, R-O-B-I-N, but down here in Louisiana, we add a little French flair to that. We call him Roban. Roban.
Roban. First and 10 now for the Cowboys, leading at 7-0. Pendarvis on the option. They're going to pitch the football off. Roger Cooper was there for Montana State.
That's Jacob Prim.
And some help from Willie Jacobson.
Well, Roger Cooper did an excellent job from his left linebacker or outside linebacker position, stretching out that play. And then Willie Jacobson on run support from the left corner going up and making the upending tackle. Montana State doesn't see this type of run game that frequently during its regular season, and it's a true test of the defensive scheme for the defensive coordination of Montana State to stop the run.
How about the tailbacks for McNeese State? Average over 5 yards per carry. Pendarvis quickly gets the football off, finds his receiver, good for another first down.
B.J. Sams. This young man can make things happen when he gets the football in his hands.
Sam's got a first down on a reverse and got a first down there on the reception.
Well, this is a little of a dose of Montana State or Big Sky football being thrown by the McNeese State Cowboys. They're just a quick out to their sly little slot receiver, Sams, and getting outside, finding a one-on-one situation and doing a nice job getting the ball upfield for first down.
Very short drop there for Pendarvis as he got the ball off quickly. On first and 10, shy of the 36-yard line. Up the middle, that's Prim again, and Prim has good yardage. Inside the 30-yard line, and the McNeese offense starting to churn things up.
They've got such a big experience now in the Cowboys do that they can really churn up some yardage once they put their mind to it. Right now, it looks like they just want to pound it right up the middle.
Good sure tackle there by Kane Ione for Montana State.
I'll also say, though, that McNeese State has made Montana State respect their ability to throw the football and play action that makes those linebackers split the middle so they can hit it hard with the run like we see here again.
And this time not much running room, but he's going to get a second effort there.
Looks like he's got the first.
Kenneth Qualls making the tackle for Montana State. Very, very close to a first down. I'm sure the referees are going to look at it one more time.
I'd be willing to bet he got it there.
And as we talk about some scores from around the country, Western Kentucky in a battle of in-state rivals defeats Murray State 59-20. Another in-state battle, Western Illinois 48, Eastern Illinois 9. Maine upset Appalachian State 14-13. Georgia Southern shuts out Bethune-Cookman 34-0. Furman almost played the spoiler on the road, losing to Villanova 45-38. And Fordham upsets the fourth-seeded Northeastern squad in Boston 29-24. And the University of Montana Grizzlies, the defending national champs, defeat Northwestern State 45-14. That ball game in Missoula.
Earlier this year, I had a chance to see James Madison play UMass from the Atlantic 10 Conference. And let me tell you, gentlemen, none of those teams could have stacked up with what we see on the field here tonight.
Well, that always is the wild card in 1AA football, and here in the playoffs, everybody begins to then compare conferences and strength of schedule. And it's just hard to tell because you just don't have the benefit of seeing these opposing conferences play.
Pendarvis will go right to the air on first down. Had a man open and overthrows him. And wide open was Britt Broadhead.
Willie Jacobson again on the coverage. They have identified, that is McNeese State has identified Willie Jacobson as their vulnerable spot in the secondary. But that pass was just simply overthrown by Pendarvis in the sense that it looked like Britt Broadhead did have a clear sail to that left or right corner of the end zone.
Pendarvis has thrown for about a little over 1,500 yards this year and 7 TDs. He completes about 61% of his passes, so he's very accurate. Pendarvis on the draw play. To Prim. Prim has some running room. Up close to the 20-yard line.
Jacob Prim carries to the 20-yard line. It'll be third down for the
Well,
Cowboys.
it's going to be, again, a difficult task for Montana State to respect that pass play, that play action, but still be able to come up and make the run stop. They've done so on this series at this point to put the 3rd and 5 situation for McNeese State. It's probably a gamble for McNeese State to throw the football here. So now it's a really kind of a long yardage situation for McNeese State.
Some of the fans up from Bozeman, Montana, around the state of Montana, and quite a few down from the down south area.
Very impressed with the crowd that came down from Bozeman.
Third down and 5 now. Pendarvis has the blitz coming.
He gets the football off, but it'll be a loss on the play.
C.J. Atkins coming in from the corner spot, but that was an excellent rush by Roger Cooper to come in and ultimately have the pass completed out here to Marcus Trahan. And again, C.J. Atkins made a nice run support play after the catch was made.
John Marino now to attempt the field goal. He's been rather consistent this year. A very fine sophomore year after some spot duty as a freshman.
This will be from 38 yards out. And the ball kicked and put down. It looks like it has the distance. Hits the upright and it's no good. So a boost there for the Bobcat defense. They did a little bit. They didn't give up any points, and we'll take a break. 9:09 left on the PPL Montana scoreboard. There you see the top-rated Cowboys on top from the Bobcats.
It's our biggest sales event of the year at Lake Charles Toyota. We got big savings on all our great Toyota cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. 03 Corolla with air, automatic, and AM/FM CD is $14,495, and 03 Camry LE is $18,995 and 0% APR. Toyotathon savings extends to our pre-owned units also, like 02 Camry LEs for $17,495 and 02 Corolla LEs for $12,495. It only happens once a year at Lake Charles Toyota.
The fun is on.
Mary Landrew, such a good family, such a disappointment. We hoped she'd help those who can't protect themselves. But Mary's gotten too comfortable with Washington. Mary voted to keep a 70% tax increase on the Social Security benefits for working seniors. 70%. For some of us, Social Security isn't just a safety net, but our only means of survival. Call Mary Landrew. Tell her Louisiana working seniors can't afford that kind of help.
Every city has a story to tell, with plenty of news to go with it. Today more than ever, it's important to stay current and informed with the latest news and information. There are many sources available, but few deliver. Get the whole story for so little, a seemingly timeless source that you've depended on for years. The American press is still the best source for the most in-depth news coverage that matters most to you. It just makes sense to subscribe today.
Goodness for Chef Boyardee. And we're glad you could join us at Cowboy Stadium in McNeese State University, Lake Charles, Louisiana, where the Bobcats trail the Cowboys 7-0 with 9:09 left here in the second quarter. Bruce Parker bringing you the action from this 1AA football playoff game. In motion, Aaron Hill for Montana State. The Bobcats haven't done much offensively, and that pass from Lule just hits the referee, Marty, and just another defender.
Well, the referee is considered part of the field, so it's really kind of no harm, no foul there, but that's unfortunate. You don't want to see any team penalized because the referee is in the way of the play.
A lot of times it's important for the offense to discuss those types of plays with the umpire prior to the game. Let them know that we're going to be running short crossing routes. Aaron Hill has constantly faced the problem of running into the umpire, and now he's getting a pass deflection by the umpire.
Second down 10 now for the Bobcats. Lule has Ryan Johnson, the lone setback. Here comes the blitz from the outside. Lule gets the ball off, almost picked off, and then it's almost picked off again and dropped. And that time,
let me tell you, had Rod Billy picked that pass up, he was gone for 6. He had wide open field. Last week against Nickel State, same situation, late in the game. Ball floated his way, and he was unmolested down the sideline for a McNeese touchdown.
He did intercepted 8 passes this year and returned 2 for touchdowns. Very talented, and he was only second-team all-conference.
Hard to believe. Actually, he should have been the first teamer, but hard to believe that he didn't make that catch because he's usually very sure-handed. It's almost like a receiver out there playing on your defense.
3rd down 10 now for Montana State. The Bobcats on their own 21-yard line. The crowd picks up the noise here. Lule has some time to throw. Goes down deep for Turnquist, and it's caught by Scott Turnquist.
Oh, my. Chris White just turned around right there. He was the defender on the play for the Cowboys, and Lule was just able to thread it right in there. Looks like White just didn't pick up the ball in time. Oh, or it might have been a push-up. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Scott Turnquist is holding the line of scrimmage, or excuse me, the sideline tightly, and at the point of reception, strangely enough, Chris White is catapulted back into the center of the field, and McNeese State Cowboy fans are attempting to let the officials know.
So a big play from Montana State. Lule has the Bobcats inside McNeese's 40-yard line. Ryan Johnson on the draw, and Johnson is hit.
You can feel the momentum shift, can't you, after that missed field goal? Montana State seems to have a new life.
Well, there's a big momentum shift when you get a 35-yard or better pass play that is a controversial no call. Then Montana State did a nice job hitting quickly with the run of Ryan Johnson. That's a play where Ryan Johnson hits it up the middle, and the coaching staff for Montana State wants to see him continue to run because he does have 4.5 speed.
Johnson gets 4 on 1st down, 2nd down, 6 Montana State. And they're packing the middle of the line. Johnson's going to be pulled down from behind.
Making that tackle, Cedric Lars, strong safety. Really got in there quickly.
Where did he come from? Came from the outside. Look at the speed here by Cedric Lars.
Well, there's a combination of things happening there. Ryan Johnson had nowhere to run in the middle interior of that defense, then had to select to begin moving to the outside perimeter. But on the other hand, Cedric Lars, with that great speed coming from the opposite side of the field, catches Ryan Johnson from behind.
And this is the setup where the Cowboys have brought the house against the freshman quarterback. Lule. Here comes the blitz up the middle. Man wide open downfield. It's caught. Aaron Hill, touchdown. Hey, how about the presence of mind of Travis Lule? He hung in there and found Aaron Hill all alone.
Bruce, just last night, you can see how Aaron Hill gets wide open here. The camera angle may not show it, but he was lost by the secondary. It looks like Hadley Prince is trying to catch up, but he was never really the intended cover man against Aaron Hill. Found himself wide open, and you're absolutely right. Excellent job of Lule keeping the presence of mind to keep his head upfield and find Aaron Hill.
And the extra point is good by Nate Cook. So with 7:07 left from Cowboy Stadium in Lake Charles, Louisiana, the Bobcats have tied it at 7.
What do we really know about Susie, a paid lobbyist for a foreign drug company while on the New Orleans City Council? Now she says she supports the National Republican Party 100%, even though their policies on steel have cost Louisiana thousands of jobs, could devastate our sugar industry, and would privatize Social Security. 100% Susie, a rubber stamp for policies that hurt Louisiana. Tell Susie she should put Louisiana, not party politics, first.
If you're injured in an accident, never sign anything until you understand your legal rights. Too many times, people take what they think is a good offer. All too often, they sign away any hope of being fairly compensated for the past, present, and future damages. Don't be pushed into an early settlement. Don't gamble with your future. Talk to an attorney first, and always choose your attorney carefully.
Louisiana is a small state. We can't afford to start over and lose Mary Landrieu's position of power on the Appropriations Committee, where Mary's delivered so much for Southwest Louisiana. She now chairs the Committee on Terrorist Threats and is a real leader on the Energy Committee, vital to our state's economy. Mary has voted for tax cuts for our working people and has always protected Social Security. Mary puts Louisiana first. We just can't replace her effectiveness or her experience.
Don't forget, the kids or the grandkids, don't forget the Chef Boyardee mini bites. And the Bobcats on that big play have tied it at 7 with 7:07 left. And there you see us way above the playing surface. Tommy, Marty, Bruce, down in the field, Jeff Lasky. A great view up here. We had our binoculars. The binoculars aren't working. Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee and a replay screen.
That gentleman up there in the end zone, I don't know if I could get up that high. That's a scary view he's got.
I'll tell you this, if we were in Montana tonight, that guy wouldn't be up there because it'd be about 10 degrees and it would be awful frigid.
He'd be a popsicle, wouldn't he?
Oh, boy. And Nate Cook will kick off another short kick for Montana State.
Right to Jermaine Martin.
And he's got a seam. He's hit and gets it up over the 35-yard line. Once again, a short kick and good field position for the Cowboys.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be a field position game. Those kickoffs are so important, as are the punts. So it looks like Montana State's going to have to get a little more distance out of those kickoffs.
Well, I'll say this, in my opinion, Montana State is very lucky to have this ball game tied at 7-7, given the field position that they were put in with their kicking game and on the returns. You see right here, Jermaine Martin doing a great job dragging people up the field after the initial contact. Again, he's only 5'6", 147, but when you're shooting like a bullet, he can drag people with you.
We'll try to get to Jeff after this play. 1st and 10 from their own 37. They're going to give the ball to Martin again, and Martin is runs into a bunch of Bobcat football players. Johnny Montoya was there along with Roger Cooper for Montana State. Let's go down to the field to Jeff Lasky.
Hey, Jeff, Tommy, I'm here with an old teammate of yours, Will Johnson, from the '84 championship team. Will, what are your thoughts so far in the game?
Well, it's a game of field position, and, boy, the defenses are both playing tough, and the offenses are getting breaks, and when they get down close to the end zone. And so I'm excited about this game and just excited about how Bobcats are playing, and they're just keeping their heads up and hitting hard. So we just want to see them do good, and I say go Cats.
All right, thank you very much, Will. Back up to you, Bruce.
And the ball is hit and dropped and knocked down.
We've got Ryan Corcoran in at quarterback for the Cowboys. He's a local product out of Barb High School. He started his college career at Northeast Louisiana, now known as Louisiana Monroe. This is his second year with the Cowboy program, and it's not unusual to see him come in and get some action for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it looks like the Montana State defense found the pressure spot. John Montoya, again, that quick, evasive defensive front. John Montoya, the leader of the group thus far, with 7 sacks this season. But as importantly, he's had so many hurries on quarterbacks attempting to make the pass. That was indicative of his great pressure.
Corcoran's thrown only 42 passes this season. Has time this time, and he throws it downfield.
We should have a flag. We should have a flag. There should be a flag on that play.
Well, I'll have to say that it appears that Joey Thomas in coverage just completely lost his balance. And in response to that, Jermaine Martin is caught up and basically tripped himself. Joey Thomas is not making a play on the ball, but on the other hand, he hasn't initiated contact with the receiver. He simply slipped and fallen himself. I honestly don't know what the call is on that.
Well, nevertheless, it's a 4th down now for McNeese State as Cook will punt to Corey Smith for Montana State. Low snap. It's handled by Cook. Gets the ball high, end-over-end kick. Corey Smith just picks it up and is just dropped. And there on the coverage is Matt Gore.
Matt Gore came to McNeese as a quarterback originally, but he's been moved to the tight end position. Most of his action is on special teams.
So we'll take a break. 5:58 left. The Bobcats and the Cowboys are tied at 7 on the PPL Montana scoreboard.
At the Popeyes Chicken Festival, you won't find any deals on buckets of bland, boring chicken. Just Popeyes kicking New Orleans-style chicken. And right now, you can get special deals on Popeye's unique flavor. Get 3 pieces and a biscuit for only $2.79. That's 3 pieces and a biscuit for only $2.79. Or get Popeye's Fryers dozen. Not 12, but 13 pieces of Popeye's chicken for only $10.99. That's 13 pieces for only $10.99.
Years of heart care experience. Complete cardiac care From diagnostics to rehabilitation. Leading cardiovascular surgeries. State-of-the-art technology. Care you can receive 2.5 hours away or 10 minutes away. Christus St. Patrick Regional Heart Center. Home to heart care.
Mary Landrew, slinging mud at Susie Terrell. But that's okay. Susie's cleaned up mud before. She cleaned up the corrupt Elections Commission, kept her promise, abolishing her own office. Now our election system is rated best in the South. But Mary Landrew is rated the most liberal senator in Louisiana history. She voted to distribute the morning after abortion pill in our schools without parents' permission. Nothing personal, but it's time for a change to Louisiana values.
Takes a lot of time. Fakes the handoff to Ryan Johnson. Here comes the pressure up the front. Lule can run, and he's got good speed. And he steps out of bounds at about the 37 or 38-yard line.
Well, that just shows excellent evasiveness and presence of mind by Lule. Watch him. He sees John Paul Jones putting on the pressure. However, he waits, and until just the last minute, he side slips, finds a blocker, gets to the perimeter, and up the sideline. Makes a great gain out of virtually nothing, which in many cases would otherwise be a 5-yard loss and a sack. He turns it into an 8-yard run. I'd like to get back to the pass play there. It's a question whether that's pass interference. I equate it to a linebacker falling down and a receiver running across the field and basically running into a fallen player. Similar circumstance, maybe.
And what we were wondering is, don't you have to call something like that regardless in a situation where it was so obvious? And it is a questionable call.
On second down, Lule tried to get the ball to Junior Adams. And, you know, during the break, Marty, we were talking about a Montana State football team that has a 7-5 record. And there we see somebody getting up real slow for Montana State. And I believe that's Ryan Henning. And that's a position they can't afford to lose right now. Henning is the reserve center for Montana State.
That's horrible news for Montana State. In fact, I was talking with Mike Kramer just prior to the ball game. What happens if Ryan Henning goes down? And what they end up doing is bringing in their freshman receiver, or excuse me, backup. Gosh, and I've got to find his name because he's not even on the 2 deep right now.
He's not even on the roster.
It's Colton, out of Colton, Washington. Blake Wolf's brother.
And Wolf will come into the football game to play center for Montana State as they attend to Ryan Henning.
Just the way Henning's acting, it doesn't look like he's going to be back in the game anytime soon.
No, it looks as if he's got a knee injury to some extent, having difficulty getting himself off the field. And, boy, that really puts Montana State in a difficult position.
And Montana State's going to take a timeout. Jeff Lasky will try to get over to the sideline to find out the extent of the injury to Mr. Henning, and that is a tough loss. Ryan Henning had started 22 straight games at center for Montana State, so when Nick Stevenson got hurt, it didn't hurt you as bad to bring in a guy who had that much starting experience.
Well, and he's got good size at 6'3", 270, 75 pounds, but it really puts him in a position because now you can see that they're going to have to bring in a freshman kid at the center spot, and the center spot obviously creates an issue with the center exchange.
Right now, Lule's working with that young man on the sideline, taking some practice snaps. So it looks like they are very concerned about how that exchange is going to go on now for the rest of the evening. Interesting to keep our eye. We'll have to keep our eye on that young man, see how he does.
Zach Wolf, 6'2", 265-pound, true freshman. So one true freshman will snap to another. And they'll go from the shotgun on the first play. Third down at about 5 for Montana State. A high snap. Lule is going to be hit.
Well, either that young man's very nervous or that lack of preparation going into the game cold like he had to has certainly had an effect.
Well, and I think even more, you've got to think at Montana State, they come out, this is the freshman's first time in a ball game, and they put him in a shotgun position. I think that's crazy. You got a kid that's clearly nervous, and you make him throw a shotgun snap.
It seemed as if he was more intent on getting the block than he was the snap, though.
So Nate Cook will punt for Montana State. 5:25 left in the first half. B.J. Sams back deep. Gets the kick away. How he got it away, I'm not sure. and he gets his best punt of the day. The snap was good. Nate Cook just couldn't hold on.
That'll be the third time that Nate Cook has dropped a snap this year. The other 2 times, it was a snap tackle right at the spot. Nate Cook just clearly dropped it.
How he got this away is unbelievable, right in between 2 defenders.
And it goes down as if it were a prototypical high lofty punt, and it's going to be ending up down the field as if it was designed that way.
That's the foot in football, and here comes Scott Pendarvis back into the lineup for the Cowboys.
Corcoran had a short stay at quarterback. Pendarvis has had a slow first half. On first down, they're going to hand off to, I believe that's Jacob Prim.
You know, actually, it's not that unusual to see Corcoran in the game. The Cowboys have a history of bringing their second-string quarterback in for the second series of the second quarter, just to get him in and get him a little action and a little taste of play. So, not so unusual to have him come in, do a series, and then go right back out.
Remember to stay with us at halftime, where Jeff Lasky will talk with Big Sky Conference Commissioner Doug Fullerton and the athletic directors from both schools. So that'll be a lot of fun in our halftime show. 4.5 left now. Pendarvis will go across the middle to, I believe that was Martin again. Just a little bit overthrown.
Just an easy, simple bread-and-butter slant route by Jermaine Martin in coverage against Joey Thomas. Pass seemed to be thrown a little bit too upfield for the smallest Jermaine Martin to get his hands on. I have been watching the sideline for Montana State. You see Mike Kramer himself personally coaching up Zach Wolf in the center exchange with Travis Lulay. It's going to be a big question mark at the center spot offensively for Montana State throughout the rest of this ball game.
So Zach Wolf, they have some confidence in Zach. Good size. His brother, the starting tight end for Montana State. Here comes the blitz. Pendarvis gets the ball off, and it's caught. This time, Broadhead, he was wide open and a good throw. Maybe the best throw of the first half by Pendarvis.
I'll tell you what, Pendarvis is a very accurate passer. I'm a little surprised at some of the throws I've seen tonight. He is overthrowing clearly. I've got to think that that's probably just nerves. But right there, he threads a nice pass into Broadhead, who's had kind of a quiet year for the Cowboys this season.
So it's a first down for McNeese State with 4:20 the clock running left here in the first half. 1st and 10 for McNeese State. The Bobcats and the Cowboys tied at 7. Pendarvis has some time, and it quickly goes away as Adam Cordero pulls down the 221-pounder.
Excellent coverage by the Montana State defensive backfield. They really closed down all of his passing options.
You can see here Pendarvis rolling out to his left, but no fooling Adam Cordero, who he breaks down and doesn't take any fake thrown at him by Pendarvis and just envelops him for the sack. Adam Cordero is extremely quick with 4.5 speed and one of the strongest members of the Bobcat defense. Excellent job on making and staying home in his responsibility.
6th sack of the year for Adam Cordero. Came in with 58 total tackles and 4 fumble recoveries. Prim now trying to dance around, and he's going nowhere. Good pressure there by Montana State's defense, and it's going to be 3rd down and about a cab ride for the Cowboys.
The defensive line for Montana State getting some very good penetration, which is surprising. One of the real strengths for the Cowboys is their offensive line. They've got a lot of experience up there. It's a senior-laden group, so Montana State doing a very good job right there at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they do bring to the game quickness and speed and agility. They're coached by Joe O'Brien, who he himself was an all-Big Sky player and MVP in the league, and boy, he brings that kind of tenacity to his own kids.
Pendarvis has some more pressure. He's hit as he throws. Nobody there. Just got rid of the football.
Again, he was looking for Jermaine Martin over the middle. He's a little guy, only 5'6", like we said earlier, but that was clearly overthrown. And I'm just wondering again if Scott Pendarvis isn't just a little too fired up for tonight's game.
Well, I would be fired up in that particular play. You got John Montoya and Adam Cordero. They still are doing a great job getting into the backfield of Pendarvis and making him throw that ball early to not sustain a sack.
Jason Cook now will punt to Corey Smith. Still a lot of time left here in the second quarter, about 2:39. Cook gets a good punt away. High, spiraling kick. Corey Smith will take it at about his own 26-yard line. Has the seam, has some room, and that's up close to the 43-yard line. So the Bobcats, with 2:27 left, will have pretty good field position.
This is a great opportunity to see the halo rule in effect, where really McNeese has a great cover on that particular play with their coverage right there. Matt Gore was right there to make the tackle, but he had to honor the halo, and with the quickness of Corey Smith, he was able to avoid that great coverage by McNeese State and then get upfield and make a nice gain.
Bruce Parker along with Tommy White, Marty Briggs, and Jeff Lasky from this 1AA playoff game at Cowboys Stadium in Lake Charles, Louisiana. 1st and 10, Montana State. Johnson in the backfield. Lule short drop, and he's going to be dropped quickly.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was some good defensive pressure right there from Tim Kennebrew. Really got in there quicker.
Well, that's a little dose of what Montana State has been delivering defensively. Now McNeese State shows their savvy and moxie up front with Tim Kennebrew, 6'4", 231, out of Newton, Texas, showing excellent speed, came free through the line of scrimmage. Really effective in the sack and the blitz for McNeese State.
Bobcat trainers still working on Ryan Henning. Rob Higgs is as good as they get in the training field, and he's working on Mr. Henning right now. Blake Wolf doing a good job in here as a true freshman. From the shotgun. Henning, good snap, or Wolf, good snap. Lule pressure again. Throws the ball off. Junior Adams was open, but Travis Lule didn't have any time to throw.
Junior Adams was all out there by himself. Had the throw been up a little bit, obviously, Adams could have had himself a nice little game.
Well, that again was great defensive pressure. I happened to just keep my eyes on Zach Wolf on that particular play, and he essentially was grabbing, tackling, and reaching and doing anything he could to keep that defensive pressure out of the backfield for Montana State, but it was a hurry.
Cowboys exhorting their team to get up. They're their fans in the stands. They want a little help right here, and now the crowd rises to its feet.
3rd down and about 14 for Montana State. Lule. Again, the pressure comes. Downfield, they throw for Junior Adams. And it's an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 4th down, and Montana State will be forced to punt. And again, still a lot of time left. Montana State took 1 minute on 3 plays. The clock stopped in the incomplete pass.
Guys, I got to admit, I'm very impressed with the way the Bobcats are playing. We said they were only a 7-5 team, but if you go back over the last month of the season, they're an undefeated ball club and obviously playing some very good football.
And on the way out at halftime, Jeff Lasky will have Bobcat coach Mike Kramer with his comments about the first half. Nate Cook to punt to a dangerous return man and B.J. Sams. Here comes the pressure, and Cook gets it away. The ball's going to hit. Sams is going to pick it up and be dropped.
B.J. Sams on the punt return to the 38-yard line.
There's Mr. Punt Cover, Willie Jacobson, coming in on Sams after Sams picked up the bouncing punt and tried to advance it uphill. Willie Jacobson was quickly on his tail and made a very nice tackle, but it still gives McNeese State very good field position with 1:20 left. It will be surprising to see McNeese State really try to run the ball. They don't have a lot of time to keep it on the ground. Most likely try to throw a few passes here.
So Pendarvis will go from the shotgun on 1st and 10. Has some time to throw. Finds his receiver. He's knocked out of bounds, but not before he has the 1st down. Joey Thomas there for the Bobcats.
I'm not sure he got his foot down, but the rule, of course, being that if the defender pushes you out of bounds, the referees can rule it as a catch. I think that's what happened. Oh, he was able to get 1 foot down.
That's a great effort by Jermaine Martin. 5'6", 147 pounds. Is he that big?
Yeah, let me tell you something. His heart is as big as they come. This guy has been a warrior since the first day he stepped on campus.
And he picks up 1st down yardage. The clock at 1:13. The screen pass. And there's up inside the 40-yard line, and about 250 pounds. He's a house to bring down.
He's a big man, and Kenneth Qualls comes up from the secondary spot to really get Martin upended here. Beautiful play, knifing in. Look at Kenneth Qualls getting a low tackle in there. But, boy, that's a nice game for Lawton to get upfield like that. He's a big man, 6 foot, 248 pounds. And then, again, you look at Qualls, more smallish at the 177 pounds.
And the clock now under 1 minute to play here in the 2nd quarter. McNeese trying to get some more points on the board. Pendarvis will throw this time long, almost picked off. Kane Ione was right there. for Montana State did a nice job playing center field as he just stepped in front and tried to get that interception.
Good play by Ione. He really came out of nowhere and accelerated just at the right point and arrived just ahead of the football.
Pendaris shows that the best thing he did there was throw that ball very hard. He did not float that in there. That's probably what prevented the interception by Kane Ione, was the speed of that pass.
That would be Rowdy, the McNeese mascot, on the sideline.
I think that's the guy Tom White played golf with today. Second down and 10. The incomplete pass stops the clock at 49 seconds. Pendarvis is going to go long, and he goes across the middle.
That's B.J.
The football is dropped. They're going to say it's incomplete. They came in from everywhere, and that won't make the crowd, mostly McNeese State fans, here very happy.
Pendaris did an excellent job just fielding that high snap to his left with one hand and getting the ball in a throwing position, throwing upfield, but unable to make the completion. Incidentally, Bruce, I have yet to tell my wife that I did find a golf course, and now you have made that public.
You know, Tommy, when it's November 30th and it's 70 degrees, what else is there?
You have to go.
Yeah, we had to find a golf course.
It had to be done.
I wasn't the only one.
I'll admit that I was with you. Just 9 holes, though. So, Linda, don't get too mad at him. Third down and 10. Pendarvis to throw again. He's going to go for the end zone. Has a man and just overthrows it.
Pendarvis is fast.
And he has done that a number of times.
Tonight, yeah. It's really kind of surprising because Scott Pendarvis, again, is usually a very accurate passer and always stays very calm and composed. So I'm surprised to see him overthrow his receivers as much as he has tonight.
And he's, you know, the scheme for the McNeese State Cowboys is really a lot of play action and rolling out and moving of their quarterback in the passing game. Those are tough passes to make, and I'm sure, Marty, you've seen him make many completions rolling out or in the play action format. But I do think it's harder to really, rather than drop back, set your feet and throw the ball, you're seeing Pendaris, in that case, that last pass, have to roll out to his right and look at the receiver downfield and just overthrow.
Now, a question that we've got to start thinking about, is this going to be a time when the coaches start thinking about putting Ryan Corcoran back into the game? He's seen some significant playing time this year, both in mop-up duty and when it really counted. When they need to throw the ball, Corcoran's probably a little bit of a better pure passer, so we might see him get into the game at the start of the second half or very soon after, unless Pendarvis can get on track.
On the season, Corcoran came in 25 of 41 for 334 yards and 3 touchdowns and a pass efficiency rating of almost 150, so that's very impressive.
He came in during the Nebraska game, the only loss for the Cowboys this year, really led the Cowboys on a couple of impressive drives. So, again, it wouldn't be unusual to see him in the game. It certainly wouldn't be an indictment against Scott Pendarvis or his performance, but if they need a spark and they need to throw the football, then Corcoran's probably the guy.
And now they're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th down and 10 with 37 seconds left here in the first half. Pendarvis will go from the shotgun. And another timeout's going to be taken. I believe McNeese State needed to take a timeout because the play clock, or Montana State's going to take it. Only 3 seconds were left on the play clock. If we can find Jeff Lasky somewhere down in the field, let's talk to Jeff a little bit about what's coming up at halftime. As the Bobcats and the Cowboys from McNeese State, and to say it's been a defensive struggle might be an understatement.
Well, it is strength on strength. Montana State's defense has been very good, as well as the Cowboy defense. So now it's just a matter, I think, as I stated in the opening, it's a matter of who's going to be able to throw the ball effectively in the second half.
And, Jeff, we see you down there with that bright yellow cover on the microphone.
Leon, we're going to have Mike Kramer at the end of it. We need something else to help fix this, too. We're going to have Mike Kramer as we head into the locker room. Also, by the way, quick injury update. They were working on Ryan Henning's right ankle. He was wearing a bit of a brace on it. They took that off and retaped it. It looked like they were planning on sending him back in, and maybe we can get somebody to work on this. Bruce?
Thanks, Jeff. Jeff will also speak with Big Sky Conference Commissioner Doug Fullerton and the athletic directors from both schools. I see them all down on the sideline. We had to get them out of their nice little warm booth down in the field, and we're looking forward to talking with Peter Fields, the athletic director of Montana State, who's come in and done such a great job at Montana State to get things really fired up in Bobcatville. On 4th down and 10, Pendarvis will throw, has pressure, gets away from the pressure, still on his feet, and has to just throw it away as he's popped as he lets it go by Johnny Montoya. And with 28 seconds left, Montana State will have the football, a couple timeouts, and maybe a chance to get some points on the board.
You see Jason Nicastro coming off to the sidelines for Montana State. He has been a huge addition to the defensive tackle spot for Montana State, transferring from Cal State Northridge after last season. They discontinued their program, but he brought a great deal of size and strength to the defensive front for Montana State. He, along with John Montoya, showed the kind of pressure that Montana State has been able to put on the quarterback of Pendarus here for the Cowboys this early in the half.
Tommy, what's the call here? Do you go for the end zone, or you just take a knee and go into the locker room happy with the time?
I think they're going to throw it down the field.
You know, the one thing you have to remember, too, as the flag comes flying out, is that Montana State will get the football first to start the third quarter. So that'll be something to think about, as the penalty, I'm sure, will go against Montana State.
Since that initial bad snap, Wolf has done a fairly decent job at center. We haven't even noticed any kind of an errant snap or any miscommunication between him and Lule.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job. They've been able to continue doing things effectively offensively, and Zach Wolf is put on the spot pretty quickly.
And the delay of game call will go against Montana State. It'll mark the football back 5 yards. First and 15 with 23 seconds left.
5 yards marked off against the Bobcat.
Bobcat offensive line. Jeff Bolton, a true freshman. Zach Wolf, a true freshman. Lule almost lost the football, then he just wisely takes a knee.
That could have been a huge disaster for Montana State, as Lule was basically juggling that ball around his chest area as the Cowboy defensive front came in. It was nearly an opportunity for them to steal the ball right out of his hands and go undaunted into the end zone.
And Jeff Lasky now will try to get Bobcat football coach Mike Kramer. I'm not quite sure where Kramer is on the sideline. Here he comes.
Hi, I'm 7 Sports Director Dan Bubany, live from Cowboys Stadium. In fact, the
north
north end zone where the halftime score is Montana State 7, McNeese State 7. Stay with us, because when we come back, we'll have a special Saturday edition of the Cowboy Roundup. Plus, we'll recap the first half with stats and highlights. And we'll even talk with Montana State Athletics Director Peter Fields and Southland Conference Assistant Commissioner Bruce Ludlow. But first, let's go to the KPLC studios for this look at your latest news and weather.
If you've been on a collision course, go to the source for collision repair, Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center. As an ICAR certified collision repair center with ASC certified technicians, Lloyd Lau puts 28 years experience into the repair of all automotive makes and models, including motorhomes and diesel rigs. All paint and body work has a lifetime guarantee, and you can take advantage of fleet contracts and discounts. And they even have experienced insurance claim handlers to help ease all your worries. Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center, 2906 Napoleon Street, Sulphur.
Folks Only, a store's biggest home furniture, can offer you retail's best furniture financing. Then in a huge single-day store-wide sale, bring you the biggest reductions of the year. Tomorrow only, beginning at 12 noon, buy on sale new furniture, bedding, accessories for every room of your home. And folks, your money out of pocket, zero. That's no monthly payments. Interest or down payments till January 2004. Look for a big ad in today's papers. Incredible buys from $75 curios and jewelry chests to sofas, bedroom recliners, bedding, and more. Home furniture is huge. December store-wide sale tomorrow.
Welcome home.
The #1 selling car line in Southwest Louisiana just got better, and Billy Navarre Honda is proud to introduce the most exciting new Accord ever. The all-new Accord has been totally redesigned. It's bigger, has more horsepower, and is the most luxurious Accord ever. Plus, the all-new Accord has been built for a 5-star safety rating. So come check out the all-new 2003 Honda Accord and find out why it's the best-selling car in Lake Charles 6 years and running. At Billy Navarre Honda, I-210 in Lake Charles.
Kite Brothers has achieved it again. We have received the Circle of Excellence Award for the 11th consecutive year. Satisfying customers like you has accomplished this achievement. Not only do we sell the best RVs on the road today, we also provide the best possible service after the sale. Kite Brothers has the largest inventory in the area, ranging from travel trailers, fifth wheels, mini motorhomes, Class A's, to the big diesel pushers. Drive to Dorita today and you'll see how for over 40 years, Kite Brothers has given you the best selection, service, and price around. Kite Brothers RV Center, Dorita, USA.
Hello, everyone. I'm Janelle McDonald. We'll get you back to the game in just a minute, but first, let's get you caught up on today's news. Today marks the end of an above-average hurricane season. Louisiana saw more than its share of nature's fury with 2 storms hitting our coast. If you're one of the thousands of Louisiana residents who saw damage in Isidore and Lily, you have 12 more days to apply for assistance. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has granted the state's request to extend the deadline from December 2nd to December 14th. If you need help, call FEMA at 800-621-FEMA. The lines are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. 1 week until Louisiana's runoff Senate election, and most political analysts agree the 2 candidates are not far enough apart on major issues to create much of a wave. For the most part, issues have been buried by mud thrown by the Democratic and Republican parties. Most political analysts agree that the reason is that aside from abortion, incumbent Mary Landrieu, a centrist Democrat, and Republican Suzanne Hike-Terrell agree on most major issues. You can catch the final debate between the 2 candidates Monday here on KPLC. Our coverage will begin at 7 o'clock. The exotic spirit of the Nile is coming to Southwest Louisiana. The Imperial Calcasieu Museum is showing David Roberts' view of Egypt, Nubia, and the Holy Land. It's the first time the 19th century Scottish artist's lithographs will be shown here in Louisiana. You can catch a special preview of this unique glimpse into the Holy Land in the 1800s tonight. It started at 7 o'clock at the Imperial Calcasieu Museum. The exhibit runs through January 3rd. Now here's Chelsea with a look at our weather. Chelsea?
Thanks, Janelle. Well, as we head into the next couple of days, we're going to see a very progressive pattern starting to set up. Right now, things have cooled off a little bit across the area, and we're going to see high pressure taking control. Here's a look at tonight's forecast. 40 degrees will be our low. We are expecting mostly clear skies, and it will be much colder tonight. We're going to be probably seeing a few 30s up to the north, and maybe even a few frosty conditions in Beauregard and Allen parishes. Now, for tomorrow, we're expecting things to warm up a little bit. We'll see mostly sunny skies and a little bit cooler, especially in the afternoon than what we were today by about 10 degrees. 59 will be our high, and winds will be out of the northeast. Here's a look at the next 7 days, and of course, pretty nice and dry through Sunday. Monday, we are going to be seeing things starting to change a little bit warmer there. Tuesday, we are going to see a good chance for some rain to move into the area, and that is going to be probably a big rainmaker for our area. Hopefully, it'll move through pretty quickly. That's kind of the way the models are looking right now. But temperatures should cool off a little bit as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. Now, hopefully the rain will clear out again Wednesday. We'll see some dry weather toward the end of the weekend on Saturday as well, but temperatures should stay somewhere between 50, 60 degrees for the most part. We may see a couple of warm days, a couple of cooler days, but all in all, looks like a couple of days of rain, a couple of days of sunshine. Again, a progressive pattern, even though November started off really rainy and ended dry. Looks like we'll have a little of both for December.
And for tonight, we're seeing some pretty good weather for that game.
Great conditions out there at Cowboys Stadium.
All right, thanks, Chelsea.
Sure.
And that wraps it up for us. We'll get you back out to Cowboy Stadium after the break. Enjoy the rest of the game, everyone, and we'll see you for Nightcast.
Looking for rewarding home improvement for the holidays or just some everyday relaxation? Picture yourself in a soothing, therapeutic hot spring spa. Its exclusive motor massage jet gliding gently up and down your back. For enjoying company of family and friends or savoring time alone, a hot spring spa rejuvenates. Sabine Pool's wide selection guarantees your perfect fit. Imagine the pleasure of a hot spring spa for the holidays and all year round. They're on sale now for backyard living at its best.
You'll find it at Sabine Pools.
The most liberal senator in Louisiana history, Mary Landrieu. So says a group supporting abortion on demand and radical gun control. Landrieu voted to allow schools to distribute the morning after pill to students even without parental consent. Then she voted to make it tougher for Boy Scouts to meet in those same public schools. Abortion pills in, Boy Scouts out. There's something about Mary Landrieu, Louisiana's most liberal senator ever.
It's our biggest sales event of the year at Lake Charles Toyota. We got big savings on all our great Toyota cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. 03 Corolla with air, automatic, and AM/FM CD is $14,495. And 03 Camry LE is $18,995 and 0% APR. Toyota-thon savings extends to our pre-owned units also, like 02 Camry LEs for $17,495 and 02 Corolla LEs for $12,495. It only happens once a year at Lake Charles Toyota.
The fun is on.
Mary Landrieu, such a good family, Such a disappointment. We hoped she'd help those who can't protect themselves. But Mary's gotten too comfortable with Washington. Mary voted to keep a 70% tax increase on the Social Security benefits for working seniors. 70%. For some of us, Social Security isn't just a safety net, but our only means of survival. Call Mary Landrieu. Tell her Louisiana working seniors can't afford that kind of help.
Live from Cowboys Stadium, it's the 7 Sports Halftime Show with Dan Booby.
Welcome back. I'm 7 Sports Director Dan Bubany in the north end zone at Cowboys Stadium, where the halftime score is Montana State 7, McNeese State 7. And now, highlights soon to follow, but first, Marty Briggs joins me. Marty, from down in the box, give me some impressions from the first half.
Well, first of all, Montana State obviously is a very good football team. After all, they are the champions of the Big Sky Conference, which is a very good football league. They're only 7-5 on the year, but if you consider the last month of the season, they're unbeaten. They've been perfect. So they're proving that they're a very good football team by hanging with the Cowboys. No surprise that it's a competitive football game. The other big surprise is Scott Pendarvis has been overthrowing just about everybody all night long on a consistent basis. So I'm wondering if he's just too fired up, perhaps, or if there's something wrong, which I doubt there is. But he really needs to get on track and start finding some of his receivers, because if he found a couple of them earlier, this could be a far different football game.
So, Marty, given that Scott Pendarvis has struggled a little bit through the first half, what did the Cowboys need to do in the second?
Well, I think they've got to just keep doing the same. Pendarvis has got to find a way to get on track somehow. If not, it wouldn't surprise me if Ryan Corcoran was inserted into the lineup and given a shot at cracking what is proving to be a very tough Montana State defense.
All right, thank you very much, Marty Briggs. All right, that's the sound. Now let's take a look at some pictures. Show me the highlights. Check them out. First quarter action, and this is Travis Lulay in the first series for Montana State trying to find Aaron Hill, but Hadley Prince breaks it up. Lulay had 13 yards passing in the first quarter, but next play, Lulay sacked by Ryan Garrison. The McNeese defense seemed to settle in a little bit on that series. Loss of 4 yards on the sack, and the Bobcats punt. But, folks, it's not a very good punt. Only 16 yards, and special teams ended up being a problem for the Bobcats, so the Cowboys got it back. Scott Pendarvis found Vic King from 9 yards out to make it 7-0 McNeese, but Vic King is hurt on this play. He was slow getting up, has a shoulder injury, and he left the game. So flash forward now to the second quarter. 9:09 remaining, 38 yards out. Marino misses the field goal attempt, and so Montana State gets the ball back. Scott Turnquist with a 41-yard pass reception for the Bobcats, and they are off and rolling, trailing by 7. Next play, Aaron Hill from Travis Lulay, and Hill is gone. 36 yards into the zone, 7-7 ball game. That's Big Sky right at you. 7-7 is your score at the half. Okay, so you've seen the first half pictures. Now, how about some numbers? Take a look at these stats we've compiled for you. First of all, first downs, 8 for McNeese, only 4 for Montana State. But that is impressive in itself. Passing yards, take a look. McNeese 66 to 90 for Montana State. That's probably pretty something that you would expect, being the Montana State Bobcats being from the Big Sky Conference. Maybe rushing might stand out at you. Well, rushing yards net for the Cowboys, only 34 to 0 for Montana State. So there are your first half statistics. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Montana State Athletics Director Peter Fields and then Southland Conference Assistant Commissioner Bruce Ludlow. Now, we want to tell you folks, 7-7 is your ball game. If you haven't caught it, 7-7 is your score. McNeese having to play a little bit of defense, having to play a little bit of offense, and really trying to get things started. As Marty told you, Scott Pendarvis a little bit wild out there tonight, but Ryan Corcoran has seen time. So if Scott Pendarvis can settle down a little bit and Ryan Corcoran gets the shot, Cowboys could be looking at a first-round playoff victory. And Northwestern State fell to Montana earlier today, so that would be the second-round opponent. Now, let's take a break.
Every city has a story to tell, with plenty of news to go with it. Today more than ever, it's important to stay current and informed with the latest news and information. There are many sources available, but few deliver. Get the whole story for so little, a seemingly timeless source that you've depended on for years. The American press is still the best source for the most in-depth news coverage that matters most to you. It just makes sense to subscribe today.
So, you gave the old bride away today, huh?
I gave the bride away.
I gave 100 pounds of roast beef away. It's good, too. 2,000 canapes, a 6-tiered carrot cake, 2 passion fruit punch fountains.
The best things in life aren't always free. To make the most of what you earn and the best of what you borrow, talk to your personal banker at Cameron State Bank.
Dad, look, I caught the bouquet.
If you have a serious health problem, you'll want the advice of the best doctors in that medical field. Likewise, if you have a serious personal injury, you need the advice of an attorney who works in that legal field and is recognized as an expert in that area of law. Your future, your livelihood could depend on it. Remember, when you need legal advice, choose your attorney carefully.
Louisiana is a small state. We can't afford to start over and lose Mary Landrieu's position of power on the Appropriations Committee, where Mary has delivered so much for Southwest Louisiana. She now chairs the Committee on Terrorist Threats and is a real leader on the Energy Committee, vital to our state's economy. Mary has voted for tax cuts for our working people and has always protected Social Security. Mary puts Louisiana first. We just can't replace her effectiveness or her experience.
Welcome back to a special halftime edition of Cowboy Roundup. I'm 7 Sports Director Dan Bubany. The Cowboys and the Bobcats are all knotted up at 7. And you know, the Bobcats have really come a long way as a football program, but no one knows better than Athletics Director Peter Fields.
Well, to make it to the playoffs, we had to beat the University of Montana, and we hadn't done that in 16 years. So making the playoffs is a culmination of a lot of hard work for our student athletes, and because we beat the Grizzlies, it is a big plus for our program right now. The playoffs are a plum, and our kids are excited to be here, and our whole staff, everybody's excited to be here. Montana State's pretty intense. I was at the University of Missouri, and the Missouri-Kansas rivalry dates back to the Civil War. And that's pretty intense, but it's not any more intense than the Montana State rivalry. And there are places in Montana where there's a car in the driveway and it has Grizzly license plates on one car and Cat license plates on the other. People are responding to the job that Mike Kramer and his staff have done in their coaching. And it's been, you're right, we were struggling a little bit. The 1st of October, we struggled. And Mike Kramer and the staff and the student athletes are the ones that really responded to the coaching. And so we're proud of them. Everybody back in at Montana is proud of our student athletes and our football team, and they're doing a great job.
Okay, so that's Peter Fields of Montana State. And now for a Southland Conference perspective, we turn to Assistant Commissioner Bruce Ludlow. Bruce, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. What a great atmosphere here in Lake Charles. This is my 2nd week in a row here. I came down last week for the Nicholls State game, and now, of course, the playoff stage. Just a tremendous atmosphere with the fans, near capacity crowd, and you know, something that all of our schools in the Southland would strive for. But I think no question that here at Lake Charles they do the best right now.
What does this kind of exposure in the 1AA playoffs mean for the Southland Conference?
Well, it's tremendous. It's year in and year out, we have the best football. We have some of the best football. Last year we had 3 teams advance to the playoffs. This year we have 2 teams. We didn't fare so well earlier in the day. Northwestern State up at Montana had a tough game, but for McNeese in here in a great game tonight. And, you know, their destiny is in their own hands as far as hosting games and having the home field advantage. But the exposure that it brings at our level in 1AA football is tremendous in that we have the playoff system. Basically, we're showcasing our teams, the Southland Conference teams, against the best teams in the nation in 1AA football. And if McNeese can go on, they're gathering or gaining the exposure tonight up in Montana as they're broadcasting the game back there, and it's just tremendous for McNeese and for all the Southland universities.
Why do you think the playoff system works at the 1AA level and not at the 1A level?
Well, I think it's just the difference in the product. I mean, not to say that, you know, nothing against the 1AA level, but we're not on the level of the 1As where they have the support and the backing in most of the major programs. At our level, it's the upper echelon teams that have that support here at McNeese State. Montana has a great following. Teams like that, Georgia Southern, the teams that are very solid have a great backing, and the playoff system is ideal for the 1AA level and Division II and Division III levels.
What's the status of the Southland Conference Commissioner position right now?
Well, our search committee is in the process. They've had a couple of conference calls, and they had a meeting earlier in the week, an in-person meeting where they've narrowed our field down. They've got a list of candidates that they're notifying and going to bring in the first week of December and conduct interviews. And then our university presidents will have the ultimate decision. They will conduct interviews at the same time, and we hope to appoint somebody the week of December 16th.
Very good. That's Assistant Commissioner Bruce Ludlow from the Southland Conference. When we come back, complete second half coverage of this football game. It's McNeese State 7, Montana State 7, right here from Cowboys Stadium. And then following the game, of course, we will have Nightcast. So you can catch up on all your news, and we'll even have sports highlights for you. That and more coming up. Second half is next.
2 days after promising to run a positive campaign,
would you agree to run only positive? Positive commercials.
Mary Landreau broke her word again, falsely attacking Susie Terrell. The truth? Landreau voted to gut the president's tax cut 20 times, supported higher taxes on Social Security, and even opposed job-creating tax relief for small business. Mary Landreau believes your tax money is better spent where she lives, in Washington, D.C.
Years of heart care experience. Complete cardiac care, from diagnostics to rehabilitation. Leading cardiovascular surgeries. State-of-the-art technology. Care you can receive 2.5 hours away or 10 minutes away. Christus St. Patrick Regional Heart Center, home to heart care.
At the Popeyes Chicken Festival, you won't find any deals on buckets of bland, boring chicken. Just Popeyes kicking New Orleans-style chicken. This chicken rocks! Ah! And right now, you can get special deals on Popeyes' unique flavor. Get 3 pieces and a biscuit for only $2.79. That's 3 pieces and a biscuit for only $2.79. Or get Popeyes Fryers dozen. Not 12, but 13 pieces of Popeyes chicken for only $10.99. That's 13 pieces for only $10.99.
Retail's best furniture financing, then in a huge single-day store-wide sale, bring you the biggest reductions of the year. Tomorrow only, beginning at 12 noon, buy on sale new furniture, bedding, accessories for every room of your home. And folks, your money out of pocket, zero. That's no monthly payments, interest, or down payments until January 2004. Look for a big ad in today's papers. Incredible buys from $75 curios and jewelry chests to sofas, bedroom recliners, bedding, and more. Home furniture is huge. December store-wide sale tomorrow.
Welcome home.
That's good. Well, the Bobcats and the Cowboys, the top-ranked McNeese State University squad, came in with a 10-1 record. And the Bobcats of Montana State had won 5 of their last 6, including the one over Montana that led them to the Big Sky Conference Football Championship. Marty Briggs, Tommy White, and myself, Bruce Parker, along with Jeff Latsky from Cowboy Stadium in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And Marty, you were on the field. Is it still warm down there?
You know what? It is not as cold as I thought it would be, but right now I would say the temperature probably hovers around 52 degrees, so it is cool, but it is not cold. So again, I don't think the weather has any factor on tonight's game in any way possible. But I will say that I think McNeese is probably a little bit shocked right now. They have not been in this position all year long. Usually they have dominated their opponents, and tonight, of course, obviously, they're in for a battle. So I'm curious how they're going to respond here in this second half.
Marty, I think the thing that is probably most misleading to a fan of McNeese State or even the coaching staff is the fact that really there was a transformation of the Montana State football team mid-season. Travis Lulay, our freshman sensation, if you will, at quarterback, has really only played 6 games. The previous part of the season did not involve Travis Lulay. They struggled getting things going offensively. So the real talisman, the mark that you look at, is what has happened with Montana State in his program in the last 6 games. And much of that is attributed to Travis Lulay offensively.
And down on the sideline, Mike Quast, an offensive guard, is warming up with Lulay. Perhaps he's going in at center as we start the second half.
And Joey Thomas will get the kickoff at about the 5-yard line. Has some blockers, and it closes quickly. Wow.
Well, it looked as if he ran down to that sideline, pinned himself on the left sideline, and Teree Broden was right there to pick up Joey Thomas and throw him out of bounds. Joey is kind of a multi-purpose back. He's got 4.3 speed himself. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. Montana State really believes he's probably a pro prospect next season.
And Montana State will come out first down and 10 from their own 22-yard line. And Mike Quast is playing center, the 300-pounder who was such a great addition coming back from that early season knee surgery. And he'll be the center for Montana State. Kimball Bowden in the guard for the Bobcats. Lulay fumbles the football, and it's still down. We're not sure who's got it.
Big play, gentlemen, right off the start of the second half.
And the first turnover of the football game, and it goes to McNeese State.
Well, the replay is going to show it's a center exchange, and they've been fiddling around with the center exchange since Ryan Henning went out of the ball game. Obviously, they didn't feel that they wanted to continue with Zach Wolf, so they bring in Mike Quast, and on his first snap from scrimmage, it is a critical fumble. It's the critical turnover, and that could be a big difference.
But, Tommy, why would you make that change if Wolf seemed to do so well toward the end of the second half?
I agree with you, Marty. It seemed like they were kind of putting and plugging the dikes, but now they put themselves in a real hole and made the first large turnover of the game.
And Jacob Prim is still in at running back. King still hurt. Prim gets the call on first down and gets 5+ yards with a big carry on first down.
And this is just like the recipe that McNeese State applied in the first half after that big turnover. They're going to run it right in the mouth of Montana State with such a short field. They're going to try to get this thing going as quickly as they can and get a quick score and make this a momentum grabber for McNeese State. I don't think McNeese State could have asked for a better start of the second half.
Second and 5 now for the Cowboys. And Prim's going to get the call once again. Not much running room there, as that'll bring up a third down at about 3 for McNeese State. That offensive line for McNeese State, Jason Davis, 6'1", 232. Mitch Sawyer, 6'1", 279. James Roden, 6'4", 296. Dwight Hudler, 6'2", 304, and Cody LeBlanc, 6'5", 300, and throw a 250-pound fullback in there.
Quast continues to work with Lulay on the sideline, so it looks like they're going to stick with him at center.
Third down at about 3. Pendarvis is going to get the first down just on a great second effort.
Yeah, it was the option, and boy, you're seeing a great deal of versatility from the quarterback spot as Pendarvis is running the option, throwing the rollout pass, and really orchestrating the McNeese State offense in all its facets, and does an excellent job of turning it upfield for the necessary first down yardage.
First and 10 now, first and goal. And the ball, Pendarvis was tried to hand it off to Lawton. I'm not sure who was right or who was wrong there.
Yeah, busted play. I'll tell you what, it's hard to imagine right there. I think both of them have a very good command of this offense. And we haven't seen much of this all year, but it looks like maybe Lawton just didn't get his hands around it.
Well, and Pendarvis did an excellent job of just keeping the ball off the ground and not having a fumble occur, because Montana State's defensive pressure was right up front. You see Joe O'Brien, the exuberant defensive line coach for Montana State, yelling at his team to fire it up in this difficult situation.
Now second down and 12, second and goal from the 12. And Prim is going to get the call.
Kenneth Qualls coming up from the strong safety spot. Kenneth Qualls is doing an excellent job on run support. He's a junior transfer out of Bakersfield, California. 5'10", 177. That's a smallish type secondary person to ask to come up and make those tackles.
Glad you could join us around the state of Montana and in Louisiana for this 1AA football playoff game from Cowboy Stadium in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Bruce Parker, Tommy White, Marty Briggs, and Jeff Latsky. 12:04 left here in the third quarter, just underway in the second half. And it's now 3rd down and goal to goal. And a timeout's going to have to be taken by McNeese State as the play clock was winding down. We're going to take a break. 11:57 left here in the 3rd quarter. The Bobcats and the Cowboys tied at 7.
If you've been on a collision course, go to the source for collision repair, Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center. As an ICAR certified collision repair center with ASC certified technicians, Lloyd Lau puts 28 years experience into the repair of all automotive makes and models, including motorhomes and diesel rigs. All paint and body work has a lifetime guarantee, and you can take advantage of fleet contracts and discounts. And they even have experienced insurance claim handlers to help ease all your worries. Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center, 2906 Napoleon Street, Sulphur.
Kite Brothers has achieved it again. We have received the Circle of Excellence Award for the 11th consecutive year. Satisfying customers like you has accomplished this achievement. Not only do we sell the best RVs on the road today, we also provide the best possible service after the sale. Kite Brothers has the largest inventory in the area, ranging from travel trailers, fifth wheels, mini motorhomes, Class A's, to the big diesel pushers. Drive to Dorita today and you'll see how for over 40 years, Kite Brothers has given you the best selection, service, and price around. Kite Brothers RV Center, Dorita, USA.
Listen up, car buyers. Billy Navarre has some fantastic holiday news for you. Chevrolet just extended 0% financing for 5 years. 0 down payment and no payments until February 2003. For the entire month of November, 0, 0, 0, no interest, no down payment, and no payments until February. Add these tremendous savings to Billy Navarre's already low-volume prices, and you'll enjoy the holiday season and a new Chevrolet with payments and savings you don't want to miss. Shop and save big at Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles and Sulphur.
They'll go out of the eye on this big 3rd down play. Pendarvis will throw, has some time, has a man wide open, touchdown. Marcus Trehan was wide open.
Well, it was a well-conceived play by McNeese State in their offensive scheme. As you see, it was a play-action fake drawn up to picture-perfect execution by McNeese State's offensive coordinator. Marcus Trehan was wide open as he booted away from the play action into the right corner of the end zone, and it was not a difficult pass for Scott Penteris to execute. All he had to do was throw it up, let the catch be made for a touchdown.
And the extra point is up and good. So the Cowboys take advantage of the Bobcat turnover and jump on top of Montana State 14-7 with 11:51 left here from Cowboy Stadium. We're going to keep things right here. And I'll tell you what, that was just good execution there by McNeese State. As they come up, they get the first turnover of the ballgame, Tommy, and take advantage.
Well, they've done it twice now. On these turnovers, the Cowboys have done an excellent job of capitalizing, scoring quickly. On that particular play for the touchdown, the Cowboys did an excellent job taking advantage of the aggressiveness of the Montana State defensive front. They're pursuing the ball in excellent fashion, but that can work against you, as that play action proved. And the Cowboy offensive coordination was excellent to see where a hole might be found for Montana State's defense.
Center exchange obviously so very critical, and Montana State is now trying yet another individual to snap the ball. Lule is working with him. I might need a little help on the pronunciation, Tommy. Mateo To'ololo.
Well, that's a big thing, because Mateo Teola has had a knee injury where he had an MCL sprain last week against Montana late in the ball game. Was not in any sense expected to play, and so essentially what they've done is taken the brace off of Teo, and he's going to come back. He is an all-conference performer at the left guard spot for Montana State. He's a huge addition to the offensive line. Has been a big blow to lose him this game. So that bringing him back into the lineup is quite a surprise.
John Marino will have to re-tee it up, as back deep to receive for Montana State. I believe it's Joey Thomas and Corey Smith. Marino to kick off. His squad has just taken the lead over Montana State. 11:51 left here in the 3rd quarter. And Joey Thomas will have the ball kicked off, and he'll just take a knee. Wisely done by Joey Thomas, a guy who's just joined us in the booth. The great one, Rock Gullickson.
Rock Gullickson is the strength coach for the New Orleans Saints, and Rocky was our strength coach in 1984. He kind of made me the man I am today. I'm a fighting 167, and Rock watched me pack on 2 or 3 pounds over those 4 or 5 years I was in the program.
We'll try to get to Jeff Latsky after this play. The Bobcats trailing 14-7. after the turnover and the touchdown to McNeese State. 11:45 left, third quarter. From the shotgun. Had some movement. And I believe that'll go against Montana State. So when you're on your own 20-yard line, probably not the thing to do is to pick up a quick penalty. Let's go down the sideline to Jeff Latsky.
Thanks, guys. Have an injury update for both teams. First for the Cowboys, Vic King has a sprained shoulder. It was hurting him too much. He's going to be out for the rest of the game. On the Bobcats side, Ryan Henning, they're working on his ankle. He may return. They're also being tight-fisted about this one, but there is a chance that Mateo Toyololo may come into this game. He was working out his knee on the exocycle. He may come back in this one. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Jeff. So now 1st and 15 for Montana State. On their own 15-yard line, and right to the air, Junior Adams makes the catch, and he picks up about 10 yards.
Wow, that's an impressive play for Montana State to drop back and just thread the needle like that. Lule with a great pass, and they really quieted the crowd.
Yeah,
excellent poise. Excuse me, Bruce. It was excellent poise in the three-step drop game designed for Lule to get the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible and count on his wide receiver, in this case, Junior Adams, breaking free from the tight man coverage on the left side. Junior Adams is very quick and evasive and did a nice job getting open.
And Mateo Toyololo is in at center for Montana State, an all Big Sky Conference guard. Also the backup center, and Lule's going to have to take a timeout. Didn't like what he saw. The freshman wisely takes a timeout.
It looks as if Ryan Johnson is going up and talking to Mateo. You know, he's coming into the game and having a difficult time, apparently.
And we'll take a timeout as well. 11 minutes left here in the third quarter. The Bobcats trailing McNeese State by 7.
Mary Landrew, slinging mud at Susie Terrell. But that's okay. Susie's cleaned up mud before. She cleaned up the Corrupt Elections Commission, kept her promise, abolishing her own office. Now our election system is rated best in the South. But Mary Landrew is rated the most liberal senator in Louisiana history. She voted to distribute the morning after abortion pill in our schools without parents' permission. Nothing personal, but it's time for a change to Louisiana values.
It's our biggest sales event of the year at Lake Charles Toyota. We got big savings on all our great Toyota cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. 03 Corolla with air, automatic, and AM/FM CD is $14,495, and 03 Camry LE is $18,995 and 0% APR. Toyota's on savings extends to our pre-owned units also, like 02 Camry LEs for $17,495 and 02 Corolla LEs for $12,495. It only happens once a year at Lake Charles Toyota.
The fun is on. Looking for rewarding home improvement for the holidays or just some everyday relaxation? Picture yourself in a soothing, therapeutic hot spring spa. Its exclusive motor massage jet gliding gently up and down your back. For enjoying company of family and friends or savoring time alone, a hot spring spa rejuvenates. Sabine Pool's wide selection guarantees your perfect fit. Imagine the pleasure of a hot spring spa for the holidays and all year round. They're on sale now for backyard living at its best.
You'll find it at Sabine Pools.
Second down and 5 from their own 25-yard line. And as we mentioned, Mateo Toyololo is in its center for the Bobcats. Lule will go from the shotgun. Ryan Johnson in that first half had -1 yards rushing. The pressure comes. Lule gets the ball off. It's tipped and incomplete, again intended for Junior Adams from Montana State.
Boy, and McNeese State is just bringing a full house right down the throat of that offensive line from Montana State, giving virtually no time for Lule to step back there and pick out wide receivers. They're in a position where they're trying to get rid of that ball as fast as possible. And on the other hand, McNeese State is doing an excellent job going one-on-one with the speedy wide receivers from Montana State.
Probably very important, Tommy, for Montana State to perhaps nickel and dime the ball down the field. Perhaps their best bet to move the ball in scoring position.
Third down 5 now for the Bobcats from their own 25-yard line. That's Junior Adams in motion. Lule again will face pressure and a whistle. And let's see what it's all about this time.
We've got one of our back judges throwing the flag.
I didn't see the play clock.
Probably a procedure, and that's what we see.
That'll march it back 5 more yards. Second penalty of the half for the Bobcats. That'll bring up now third down and 10 for Montana State.
Well, I was going to say just prior to that last snap that this is a pretty critical play, 3rd and 5. Well, now double it, 3rd and 10, makes it that much more difficult.
Adams and Turnquist to the left. For Montana State, Aaron Hill and Corey Smith to the right. And a pump fake, and downfield he has a receiver open in his hands and drops it. Aaron Hill.
That's Chris White on the defense, and he got his hand up and knocked that ball down.
Well, we'll see if the replay shows how the defense was covered there with Chris making the play, White, that is, and it looks as if Aaron Hill had a chance to make the reception, but I think you're right, Marty, that Chris White in the end had some kind of confusion in the grip of Aaron Hill to prevent the reception.
Good coverage there, and a good pattern by Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill has the big touchdown catch this evening. Nate Cook, the punt for Montana State, averaged about 30 yards in his 5 punts in the first half. It's a good snap.
Good catch.
Sams will take it about his own 46-yard line. Still on his feet. And gets pulled down at about the 36-yard line. We're going to keep things here.
Did you notice when Sams made the catch of that football, there was nobody around him, perhaps within 5 yards or 6 yards of where he caught that ball.
Well, and even then, he did an excellent job getting upfield, and there were 2 whiffs right there, Willie Jacobson, and then finally Nick Maruta still made a shoestring tackle. Otherwise, it seemed like there was a lot of room continuing in the middle of the field.
But again, great field position for the Cowboys to start as they lead at 14-7 on first down.
Marcus Trahan.
Trahan, the 3rd string tailback, and really, they don't have strings. They have 3 guys that play a lot of tailback.
Absolutely. They run them in and out constantly, so you never know who's first string, who's second string, who's third string. Whoever is hot at the moment is going to get the call for the Cowboys.
Strahan did an excellent job of hooking that up into the middle as hard and fast as possible. On the other hand, John Montoya, while being blocked, was able to shed the block and get himself up in position to make the tackle. Terrific football being played in the middle of the line.
2nd down at about 9 for the Cowboys. The option, they haven't run it much today, and it's defense very well there. Joey Thomas from Montana State steps up and makes the play. Trahan is stopped after a very short game.
Well, it is an excellent run stop by Joey Thomas, a cornerback who's really accustomed to man-to-man pass defense, and that seems to be his expertise. But Montana State's defensive coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski, and the secondary, John Rushing, has done an excellent job of making these guys understand the discipline of run stop on these option plays that the Cowboys will bring at them.
3rd down 8 now from the shotgun. Pendarvis. Short drop. Here comes the pressure right up the middle. And a sack made by Cade Ione, the top tackler in the Big Sky Conference. And watch this one.
It's a make it or break it. You see, Cade Ione has got to come free and make this tackle, because if he doesn't, he's going to give an opportunity for one-on-one coverage downfield and possibly complete the pass. But Cade Ione does a great job of coming free and making the sure-handed tackle.
So that'll force a punting situation for McNeese State. So the Bobcat defense does their job. Corey Smith back deep. Cook to punt for McNeese State. It's a wobbly kickoff. Corey Smith's going to get away from that one. Look at the roll. They couldn't keep it from going in the end zone, so the Bobcats will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
Matt Gore closest to that football. He just couldn't corral it and keep it from going into the end zone.
They had it covered. It was nearly a nice drop down by Matt Gore, but surprisingly, that ball had a lot of acceleration, and to Montana State's benefit, was able to get into the end zone.
There you see Mike Kramer, the 3rd-year Montana State coach, their offense, or the running back coach, Aaron Flowers. And it looks like Mateo Toilolo will stay in the game for Montana State as the Bobcats trail it with 8:29 left in the 3rd quarter. From the shotgun, Lille has some time to throw. Now he's going to have to run out of pressure. Still on his feet, and a good tackle there was made by Roderick Royal, the linebacker, who has great speed and a transfer student.
Transfer student out of the University of Florida. He has meant the world to the Cowboy defense this year. Picked him up just before the start of August drills, and he's had one heck of an impressive season for the Cowboys.
That's a nice fellow to have walked into camp.
Brian Thomas did the great job of really pushing Lulay out of the pocket and then pursuing him. But on the other hand, Lulay showed his strength in avoiding that tackle and making a nice 5 or 6 yard gain out of something with strength at the quarterback.
Second down, Montana State. Lulay again from the gun. Has time to throw, gets the ball off to Scott Turnquist. Turnquist goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. The second catch for the junior out of Billings Skyview High School.
That's a basic pass pattern that you'll see Montana State run frequently. When they see a soft corner, that meaning a corner that is playing more than 8 yards off the line of scrimmage, they're just going to do a simple walkout pass where Lulay will take a 3-step drop and quickly get it outside to the open wide receiver, and then it becomes the wide receiver's opportunity to go one-on-one with the defensive back, but they'll take a 5-yard gain.
This is where the crowd becomes a factor on 3rd down and 5 for Montana State. Lulay throws the ball downfield. Making the catch, I believe, is Scott Turnquist, and a flag's going to come out. Now, will they call that offensive?
Yeah, offensive or defensive? That was my question. Let's take a look at the replay. Tommy, what do you think about that?
Well, what it is, it's an intentionally underthrown pass, and it's just then a matter of the receiver knowing where the ball's at, the defensive back not knowing where the ball's at. I'm going to suspect it's against McNeese State.
And that'll be declined, and the Bobcats will have a first down on their own 47-yard line.
The reason I say that is when the ball was in the air and the catch was being made, Fairchild, the defensive back in coverage, was not looking back to the ball, making any attempt to play on the ball, while Turnquist was up in the air with the reception. Seemed to be pretty clear cut.
So a first down for the Bobcats as they'll bring things out again from the shotgun. They're going a lot from the shotgun, trying to give Lulay some time to throw the football. On first down, Lulay, this time to Aaron Hill, and it's good for about 7 or 8 before Hill is ripped out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
Was it my imagination, or is the new center kind of solidified things on the line for the Bobcats?
Well, there's something that has been a poise occurring here for the Montana State offense, and it's kind of what you mentioned earlier in this second half, is Montana State has to nickel and dime, if you will, down the field with their passing game. And these last 3 or 4 plays, they've done an excellent job of getting their short passing game in order.
Second down and 3 for Montana State after the 7-yard pickup by Aaron Hill. Lulay on the quarterback draw. Has a blocker and has some room to run. Travis Lulay will have a first down inside the 40.
Well, you'll see that there's not very many times that Montana State is going to call number 14 on a design draw play. That was one of those cases, though, however, and this is where Lulay does a great job breaking a tackle at a freshman quarterback, 6'2", 200 pounds, excellent strength. And, hey, this is playoff time, and they're going to let everything that they've got in the bag out. And that's one of those things being Travis Lulay running the football.
Rod Royal came in to make the stop there on Lulay.
First and 10, Montana State. The ball just shy of the 36-yard line. In McNeese territory. That's Scott Turnquist in motion. And Ryan Johnson has nowhere to go, and that's Royal once again.
It's kind of hard to imagine that he couldn't find playing time at the University of Florida.
Well, he's finding plenty of playing time and tackling time here tonight. Roderick Royal has done everything that you could ever expect for a linebacker in stopping Montana State's run game from their tailback, Ryan Johnson, who is very well storied in the Big Sky Conference. Still to this point into the third quarter, he has no gain for the entire night on 16 rushes.
Lost about 3 there. Second down, 13, Montana State. Here comes Royal in the blitz. Lulay to throw. What a great catch there. Scott Turnquist.
Scott Turnquist on the inside slot position going against what would otherwise be considered the best defensive player for the Cowboys, Hadley Prince. And it's a quick slant route, as you can see, and Scott Turnquist does everything to get that ball out in front of him, catch it in the hands, possess it with a linebacker-type player on his back.
That's Gretchen Kramer holding up the cat sign in the stands.
And interestingly enough, Hadley Prince now on the sidelines. He comes out after that play.
And he's been pretty quiet this evening.
Yes, he has.
Third down and about a long one for Montana State. Lulay Again from the gun, not much time to throw. Gets it off, it'll be a first down, Montana State.
That is poise in the pocket by a quarterback, a freshman. He had to throw that ball in a thread, and not only that, he found the appropriate receiver to get just enough yardage for the first down. The maturation process that we see Travis Lulay going through in these last 7 games is quite honestly phenomenal. Montana State's got a lot to look forward to.
He doesn't look like a freshman. He's been impressive tonight.
4:50 left in the third quarter. The Bobcats trailing the Cowboys of McNeese State, the top-rated team in the country. Lulay has it first down on the 25-yard line. To throw. Lulay downfield looking for Junior Adams. And Junior Adams had to turn into a defensive back on that play.
Well, that's absolutely right, Bruce. That was nothing more than a switching of the positions as the coverage was well in place by Keith Smith. You can see he became the receiver. Junior Adams in the trailing position became the defensive back, showing his athleticism and his savvy about the game. I don't need to catch this. I need to make sure that the defensive back for the Cowboys does not catch it. Excellent defensive play by Junior Adams.
Second down, 10 now, Montana State. Clock at 4:37 left in the third quarter. Lulay will be hit and dropped.
Big defensive stop. Big effort there by the Cowboys. That was Ryan Garrison, who is quietly one of the quiet members of this defense, but certainly has been a big member of the defensive squad for the Cowboys.
Well, you see Lulay stepping up into the pocket, and normally that's what you want your quarterback to do, but in this case, Ryan Garrison, rather than being in drop position at the linebacker for pass coverage, came in wholesale on a blitz, and Lulay literally stepped right into the tackle. The Cowboy defense is pumped up, and the crowd is letting them know it.
Most of the 16,211 on hand tonight are on their feet. On third down and 17 for Montana State. Again, the blitz is coming. The Bobcats pick it up. He goes down the middle, has a man, no flag, and that'll bring up a fourth down for Montana State.
Excellent coverage by the defensive secondary for the Cowboys. At the same time, Montana State's offensive line did a very nice job of pass protection. It just came down to making a very good pass and catch, which Montana State was unable to do.
And the Bobcats will punt on fourth down and 17. Try to pin McNeese State back in their own territory. The Cowboys not really buying it right now.
The wind is picked up, so I guess that figured into the fact that the Bobcats aren't attempting a field goal.
It would have been about a 50-yarder for Montana State. And Nate Cook's going to just try to kick it up in the air and see if Montana State can down it. And it goes down at about the 14-yard line. And that's where the Cowboys will take over first and 10 with 3:33 left, leading it 14-7. And we're going to take a timeout. So 3:33 left. McNeese State Cowboys take advantage of a Bobcat turnover, and on the PPL Montana scoreboard, lead it 14-7.
Mary Landrew, such a good family, such a disappointment. We hoped she'd help those who can't protect themselves. But Mary's gotten too comfortable with Washington. Mary voted to keep a 70% tax increase on the Social Security benefits for working seniors. 70%. For some of us, Social Security isn't just a safety net, but our only means of survival. Call Mary Landrew. Tell her Louisiana working seniors can't afford that kind of help.
You know, when I go into a bank, a smile and a little common courtesy go a long way. Of course, I also want to know I can get to the bank easily, you know, that they're close by. And they really ought to bend over backward to suit me. After all, it's my money.
Treating you better. It's what we do best. Cameron State Bank. Personal banking at its best.
What do we really know about Susie, a paid lobbyist for a foreign drug company while on the New Orleans City Council? Now she says she supports the National Republican Party 100%, even though their policies on steel have cost Louisiana thousands of jobs, could devastate our sugar industry, and would privatize Social Security. 100% Susie. A rubber stamp for policies that hurt Louisiana. Tell Susie she should put Louisiana, not party politics, first.
They take care of you, huh, Bruce?
They take care of it, you bet.
Wow.
So the Cowboys will take over 1st and 10 on their own 14-yard line, leading it 14-7 with 3:33 left. And on first down, Prim gets the call. As Jeff Lasky told us a little bit earlier that King will not play. And Jeff's on the field somewhere. Let's go down to him.
All right, we're down here with former Bobcat John Taylor. A year ago, this was your defense. What are they going to have to do to keep this one close?
They got to keep doing what they're doing. They're playing hard. They're getting big stops. I mean, if we can keep them scoring again, I think we got a definite shot of winning this game. The offense is playing well, and the defense just got to keep playing hard and making plays right now.
All right, thank you very much, John. Bruce, up to you.
Pendarvis gets the ball off to Martin. Martin dances around, and he might have a first down.
B.J. Sam's on that reception, Bruce, and let me tell you something. He almost had some open field, and if he found it, it would have been 6.
Well, he's been the go-to guy. He's an all-purpose back, and he's catching, running, and returning kicks tonight. But, boy, he is dangerous in the open field. He went one-on-one with Joey Thomas and evaded that tackle and was able to get upfield for the first down. Very, very effective player, B.J. Sams.
Sams has had a couple big plays today. A catch, a punt return, a reverse for a run. 1st and 10 now on the 24-yard line. They're going to go up the middle. And they're going to the big man, the fullback. That's Lawton, and I think he got no yards on first down.
Travis Bussey, he's backing up Ray Sebastian, the starting left tackle for Montana State. Travis Bussey sees ample time at that spot, probably nearing 50% of the time. Did a nice job upfield penetrating, a nice tackle. McNeese State, however, looks like they just continue to insist on pounding the ball in the middle. They're going to what they'll call their bread and butter, I'm sure.
2nd down 10 now for the Cowboys. Ball on the 24. That's going to be Prim once again. He gets a couple tough yards. The run is very tough up the middle.
Certainly nothing fancy about these plays.
No, it's clear that McNeese State, they intend to hit that hole hard, and it's just a momentum breaker. They're really, on every play, one tackle or one arm tackle sometimes away from breaking it into the middle, because Montana State has to defend the entire field, so that opens the middle possibly if a linebacker misses those types of tackles.
1:30 left here in the 3rd quarter. The Bobcats and the Cowboys on 3rd down and about 6. Pendarvis' pass almost picked off by Roger Cooper.
Roger Cooper, he is a tremendous athlete. He's a high hurdle champion out of the state of Washington at 6'3", 231 pounds. Runs 4.4 in the 40. That's awesome type of speed and athleticism, and he can get up and out the gate. Last week he had an interception on a similar play against the University of Montana.
Cook back to punt for McNeese State. Corey Smith, the deep man for the Bobcats. And remember, the fastest member of the Montana State team, he can turn a game around on one punt return. 2nd in the nation, averaging almost or better than 17.2 yards a punt. And it takes a nice roll for McNeese State. And it'll be down at about the 27-yard line, and that's where the Bobcat offense will take over. 1st and 10, 1:08 left. But the last time Montana State had the ball,
they were able to move it.
They moved it.
And I happen to think that the addition of the Veterans Center really kind of solidified things for Montana State, and Lule looked a little more comfortable back in the pocket.
And the big man joining us in the booth, the Rock Gullickson.
Hi, Bruce.
Strength coach Rock. It's great to see you all the way from New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
How was the drive, Rock?
It was a little bit slow, but we got here about 7:30. The Cats were down 7-0 when we got here, but really feel it came coming their way if it wasn't for that lost fumble.
So the Bobcat offense taking over 1st and 10. Looks like they're bringing the house, and they do. Lule to throw, has a man wide open, and that's good for a first down to Aaron Hill.
Really impressive quarterback.
Very impressive. I'm very surprised that he's a true freshman, and evidently you guys watched him all year. The transformation of this team probably took place once he was inserted into the lineup.
No question about it. Led Montana State to 5 wins in their last 6 games. And there, the nice pass to Aaron Hill. That'll give the Bobcats a 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line. There you saw Aaron Hill, the transfer from Oregon State. Lule again will go from the shotgun. Junior Adams in motion. Here comes the blitz from the outside. Lule just trying to get the ball away, and he does as he's dumped 7 rushers there for McNeese. They have great speed.
I'll tell you what, is it my imagination, but the Cowboys, despite that play, haven't seemed to be as aggressive in the second half as they were in the first half.
Well, the Bobcats had just 90 yards total offense in that first half, and you know they got to be around 60 or 70 here in the third quarter with 35 seconds left in the third quarter. And Rock, a different look Montana State team, and you're pretty good friends with the head man.
Yeah, Mike Kramer, good friends with Mike. Really excited for his team. I think the Cats look great. I'm just really proud of them.
Second down, 10, Montana State. Lule this time has some time to throw. Goes across the field. It's caught, and now out of bounds. They're going to say the pass incomplete. Intended for Junior Adams.
Evidently, he fumbled the ball or couldn't gain possession of it. But a nice throw by Lule. Found its mark. He just couldn't pull it down.
And a tough throw all the way across the field. Good call there by the official. One of the officials from the OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference. The winner of this football game will play the University of Montana. The location yet to be determined. 29 seconds left here in the third. Lule will have his team up a third down and 10. A 4-man rush for the Cowboys. Lule to run now. Now he finds a man downfield. Scott Turnquist makes the catch. What a catch by Scotty Turnquist. One-handed, and from one wide receiver, Tommy, to another.
Well, that is the kind of catch that makes a career for a wide receiver, and Scott Turnquist has had some great catches, but none ever better than this one. He is in cover. He throws up his right hand, stabs at it, brings it back in. It is a career breaker, maker catch, and he does it. He brings the Bobcats down to their own 14-yard line, 1st and 10. That is tremendous.
And that was good defense. I mean, it was well covered. Just an outstanding catch.
It comes down to a big play, and he made it.
We'll come back, talk more about that. We're 1 quarter away. The McNeese State Cowboys lead the Bobcats of Montana State 14-7. Stay with us. Lots of excitement still on hand.
There's a difference on Social Security. Susie Terrell supports privatizing the system, raiding trillions from the trust fund. Experts say Terrell's plan would cut retirement benefits and jeopardize the entire system. Mary Landrieu will protect Social Security and prevent cuts to benefits.
We need to put general fund dollars into Social Security to strengthen it while cutting taxes for everyone. And I won't support any plan that puts Social Security at risk.
Where should you go for professional legal help? Here's some advice. Don't judge an attorney or a law firm by the size of their telephone book ad or the looks of their office. Make your decision based on the experience of the attorney as well as their firm's track record and reputation for handling cases similar to yours. With so much at stake, it'll be worth your time. Remember, choose your lawyer carefully.
At the Popeyes Chicken Festival, you won't find any deals on buckets of bland, boring chicken. Just Popeyes kicking New Orleans-style chicken. This chicken rocks! And right now, you can get special deals on Popeyes' unique flavor. Get 3 pieces and a biscuit for only $2.79. That's 3 pieces and a biscuit for only $2.79. Or get Popeyes Fryers dozen. Not 12, but 13 pieces of Popeyes chicken for only $10.99. That's 13 pieces for only $10.99.
And the first play of the fourth quarter with McNeese State leading the Bobcats 14-7. Marty Briggs, Tommy White, Jeff Latsky, and yours truly, Bruce Parker. The Bobcats have it on the McNeese State 14-yard line, 1st down and 10. Over the middle, they get the football off, and they're just doing it quickly in short passes. As you talked about, Marty, Junior Adams there with the big catch.
There's certainly no need to get it all at one time. You're not going to do that against this McNeese State defense. It's too talented. So they're doing the smart thing. If they're trying to move the ball down the field, the strategy is sound. Just get a few yards at a clip, keep the chains moving, and keep possession of the football.
That replay just showed the smallest of windows in which Travis Lule is placing the football and doing it with success.
2nd down and about 4. The ball on the 8-yard line. Lule Lule goes across the middle, trying to get the football to Junior Adams. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for Montana State. On the 8-yard line with 14:20 left, just underway here in the 4th quarter from Cowboy Stadium, Lake Charles, Louisiana, the home of McNeese State University, or if you're from down here, as Marty mentioned, McNeese State University.
Well, I'll tell you, it looks as if Montana State has understood that they're going to have to win this ball game throwing the football. This in 3rd quarter, that's all that they've done, and they're finding success now.
Adams in motion for the Bobcats as the crowd picks up their intensity. Here comes the blitz over the middle, caught, touchdown! That's Junior Adams, and we're an extra point away from tying this football game up.
It's one-on-one coverage. Junior Adams on the inside left slot position. He's got one man to beat. He finds the inside of the field on a nice stick, as they say. He plants his left foot, cuts to the inside corner of the field, and there it is. Travis Lule leads him upfield. Easy touchdown.
He was able to get by Ashiel Fairchild.
Junior Adams, not an easy man to cover. The extra point is put up for Montana State, and it's good. So with 14:16 left here in the 4th quarter, our score from Cowboy Stadium, the Bobcats of Montana State 14 and McNeese State 14.
Quality posters. We'd like to tell you about our mom, Suzanne Terrell.
Susie Terrell.
Because she's running for Senate. First, she's a working mom.
But sometimes she's such a mom.
And she's honest. She's not really a politician.
Chrissy.
If she makes a promise, she keeps a promise. And she expects the very same thing of us.
She's always been there for us, no matter what. She can be tough, but she has a really good heart.
And after 3 teenage daughters, I think she can probably handle Washington.
Years of heart care experience. Complete cardiac care, from diagnostics to rehabilitation. Leading cardiovascular surgeries. State-of-the-art technology. Care you can receive 2.5 hours away or 10 minutes away. Christus St. Patrick Regional Heart Center. Home to heart care.
If you've been on a collision course, go to the source for collision repair, Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center. As an ICAR certified collision repair center with ASC certified technicians, Lloyd Lau puts 28 years experience into the repair of all automotive makes and models, including motorhomes and diesel rigs. All paint and body work is a lifetime guarantee, and you can take advantage of fleet contracts and discounts. And they even have experienced insurance claim handlers to help ease all your worries. Lloyd Lau Collision Repair Center, 2906 Napoleon Street, Sulphur.
And for today's hectic lifestyle, only Orville Redenbacher's Gourmet Popping Corn brings people together for relaxation and pure snacking pleasure because of Orville's lifelong commitment to popcorn excellence. Available in movie theater butter, butter light, Smart Pop, Homestyle, and other great flavors. Pop a bowl of Orville Redenbacher and get Orvilleized. And the Bobcats have tied things up, and a flag is down in the kickoff. That's going to be an offsides on Montana State. With the football is Martin, and Martin gets up past the 24-yard line, but I think that'll come back.
Absolutely, we've got an offside, no question about it.
And let's go down to the sideline to Jeff Lasky.
Guys, big catches from the Bobcats by Junior Adams, Scott Turnquist, and Aaron Hill. Now, Aaron had some trouble holding on to the ball in the first half. It's because he is not 100% healthy. His right shoulder still bothering him. He's playing in a lot of pain, but he's adjusting on how to deal with that and had a big catch on that last drive. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Jeff.
I'd like to ask you, Marty, you know, not having the opportunity to see the rest of the Southland Conference and really the competition that the Cowboys face throughout the season, my thought coming into this game for Montana State to really be successful or find a difference in this game was they were going to have to go to the kind of passing offense that we just saw in that last drive primarily throughout the 3rd quarter. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, the Cowboys don't get to see a whole lot of passing in the Southland Conference. Now, there are teams that throw the ball and throw it quite often, but there's usually a lot of balance between the run and the pass. No team is dominantly a passing team. If the Cowboys have faced this kind of offense at all this year, it was probably the first game of the year with Grambling, and the Cowboys absolutely destroyed the Tigers by a score of 52-20. So they've been able to look at it, an offense very similar to this before, and they've been able to handle it.
Well, the keys to the game have to be the Montana State offensive line being able to pass protect, and clearly they've gone through some difficulties. Now they've kind of shored up that offensive line with some position changes there, and then they have found their stride with Travis Lulay throwing the ball.
And the Bobcats are going to pooch it down about 30-yard line. The ball is fumbled, but how about Martin stepping up from his deep position to fall on the ball? And the McNeese State Cowboys will have it once again in pretty good field position. You know, you talked about the offensive line. One guy that hasn't had much success running the football, but if you watch, they're leaving him in there to protect, and that's Ryan Johnson, who's a very good blocker.
Well, because he is the all-time leading rusher for Montana State, you see an excellent job by Martin covering that kick, but Ryan Johnson is highly touted as the all-time leading rusher for Montana State. What a lot of people don't understand is in pass protection, he's one of the best that's ever played that position as well. He's a very strong individual, and now they're calling upon him to block.
13:58 left here in the third. The ball is thrown down to Martin. Martin makes the catch, and a good throw there as Martin beats Joey Thomas.
Actually, everything was done on that route. Martin made a great fake to get himself open, and the defender was just left holding his socks.
Yeah, he obviously had Joey Thomas continuing to stay in his drop, while Martin, at such a quick, evasive receiver, is able to shut down that quick speed so quickly, come back to the ball, and make a very nice pass reception.
And one of the better throws of the evening by Pendarvis. Just a good shot on the money. They're going to hand off up the middle, and this one's going to go to Trahan. Trahan picks up about 5 yards on first down.
Well, Montana State's offensive possession seems to have loosened this game up quite considerably. Now the Cowboys are starting to get some kind of stride in their own offensive game plan.
You know, you don't see the tight end involved with the Cowboys tonight. Jeff Hamilton, number 85, has been such a huge part of this offense throughout the regular season, but he's been quiet this evening.
He has 21 catches for 251 yards on the year.
And that's Broadhead on the catch for McNeese State. Good yardage there by Britt Broadhead. Broadhead, a junior out of Lafayette, Louisiana, St. Thomas More High School. So I guess you would say pretty much almost a local guy. Very close.
Almost a local guy. Lafayette, just about 70 miles to our east. It's the home of the University of Louisiana Lafayette, formerly USL, Southwestern Louisiana. And, yeah, a lot of kids from high school play over here during their high school careers.
Third down and short now, and they'll just go up to the big man, Lawton, the fullback. And Lawton is hit by Kane Ione. He might have got the first down, but he got popped pretty good.
Well, let's talk about that. Lawton hits that hole with great speed. He's, again, a very big man, 6 foot 248. But Kane Ione came up as kind of a quasi-secondary linebacker type, made a sticking stop right there. But it was all Lawton actually wanted was to get that first down, and he did so. First and 10 Cowboys on their own, or the Bobcat 36.
12:20 and the clock running here in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 14. We'll try to keep you posted on our time here in the fourth quarter. Pendarvis. They're going to fake it, and they're going to run it to Trahan.
Well, again, Kane Ione, he made the tackle. He obviously didn't get a complete wrap-up to stop the ball carrier from advancing. But if Kane Ione misses that tackle, it's a score for the Cowboys offense because they're hitting the hole hard and really bringing it at Montana State at this point.
So Montana State used their strength throwing the football, and now McNeese State using their strength running the ball right at the Montana State defense. Second down and about 3 for the Cowboys.
Jacob Grimm
again, and he just runs hard when he gets the football in his hands.
They're just kind of wearing down the Bobcat defense right now, aren't they?
Well, you can hear the Cowboy fans really rising to the occasion. This is the kind of football that they're obviously used to seeing. There's a lot of pride in Cowboy football and their ability to run the football. And so now we've really framed the outline of the game here. Montana State's going to have to throw the football. The Cowboys are going to run the ball right at them.
First and 10 now as they get closer and closer to field goal range. 11 minutes, 5 seconds left. They're going to go to Trahan. And not much running room there as the Bobcats step up. Ray Sebastian there to kind of lead the way for Montana State. And you got a host of help from Jason DeCastro, Roger Cooper for Montana State.
Well, at this point, Montana State has got to be weary of the play action where they have been so dominant now in the last 5 or 6 plays running the ball between the tackles straight at them. don't be surprised if you're going to see some type of play action or bootleg with the pass being thrown to catch Montana State really trying to stop the run and being vulnerable on the other hand to the pass.
2nd down 8 now. As he'll go up the middle to Lawton, and the big man just gets about 4 or 5 tough yards.
We'll pick up 5.
That's a big man to run that football. He's a load to bring down.
That's right. Montana State's linebackers are smallish with obviously Lawrence Latule small in size. Lawrence number 5 for the Bobcats at 5'8", 210. They've got Isaac Gardner in the ball game. He's a bigger one at 6'2", 225. And then, of course, David Smith. But here comes Latule. He's plugging that middle. Hopefully he can get a free tackle because if a blocker gets on him, it's difficult.
3rd down and about 3 for the Cowboys. And again, they'll run the football. Trahan out of bounds at about the 1-yard line, and that's for McNeese State. We'll have it 1st down and goal to goal. An impressive drive by McNeese State.
Well, this is the first offensive play in many that we've seen the Cowboys go outside to the perimeter. Montana State has been stacking the interior side of the field to try to stop that run. Strahan did a very nice job of moving it outside and very near scoring, and it's on the 1-inch yard line, it appears, for 1st and 10 for the Cowboys.
Don't think there's any secret how the Cowboys are going to play this one. There's Pendarvis.
So Scott Pendarvis scores from 1 yard out as McNeese State answers the Bobcat tying touchdown with a drive of their own. And the big quarterback at 6'4", 221 pounds, just dives over for the score with 9:40 left here in the 4th quarter. Lots of time left in this one. And boy, as much of a defensive battle as we had in that first half, it's kind of turned offensive.
Well, I think the defenses on both sides are somewhat worn out, as Marty pointed out, and that makes them vulnerable for the respective passing of Montana State and the rushing of McNeese.
So with 9:40 left, the Cowboys have gone back on top on the PPL Montana scoreboard. 9:40 left. Lots of fireworks still to come from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
The #1 selling car line in Southwest Louisiana just got better, and Billy Navarre Honda is proud to introduce the most exciting new Accord ever. The all-new Accord has been totally redesigned. It's bigger, has more horsepower, and is the most luxurious Accord ever. Plus, the all-new Accord has been built for a 5-star safety rating. So come check out the all-new 2003 Honda Accord and find out why it's the best-selling car in Lake Charles 6 years and running. At Billy Navarre Honda, I-210 in Lake Charles.
Folks Only, the store's biggest home furniture, can offer you retail's best furniture financing. Then in a huge single-day store-wide sale, bring you the biggest reductions of the year. Tomorrow only, beginning at 12 noon, buy and sell new furniture, bedding, accessories for every room of your home. And folks, your money out of pocket, zero. That's no monthly payments, interest or down payments until January 2004. Look for a big ad in today's papers. Incredible buys from $75 curios and jewelry chests to sofas, bedroom recliners, bedding, and more. Home furniture is huge. December store-wide sale tomorrow.
Welcome home. The most liberal senator in Louisiana history, Mary Landrieu. So says a group supporting abortion on demand and radical gun control. Landrieu voted to allow schools to distribute the morning after pill to students even without parental consent. Then she voted to make it tougher for Boy Scouts to meet in those same public schools. Abortion pills in, Boy Scouts out. There's something about Mary Landrieu, Louisiana's most liberal senator ever.
Lead at 21-14. Lots of time left. 9 minutes and 40 seconds here from Lake Charles, Louisiana. The winner of this one will play the University of Montana in the 2nd round. The ball is kicked down. That's going to be Joey Thomas. Right, that's Corey Smith with the football. Corey Smith, the great speed. Still on his feet, but he's popped and dropped. And making the play there was Ryan Garrison, the starting linebacker for McNeese State.
And Kenny Jones on the stop flag on the play.
Well, it'll be interesting now. If Montana State does what they want to possess this ball for a long period of time. It's hard to do that throwing the ball. They want to get that clock running and then all the while sustain a long drive and get a score out of it.
Looks like we're going to re-kick this one, perhaps an offsides on the Cowboys. Yep.
And that hurt Montana State earlier in the half when McNeese State took the penalty, got a better kick return. and has scored on a touchdown drive. Now Montana State will get a chance, and when you have a Corey Smith back there, you always want another opportunity.
That's exactly right, Bruce. You'd think that most teams would take the ball on the 26 and consider that good field position, probably decline the penalty. But in this case, with the speed of Corey Smith, the special teams play that Montana State really prides itself in, they're going to take another shot of getting better field position, if not a score, with those quick backs back there, Corey Smith, and then on the other side, Michael Williams, a speedster out of the South Florida area.
And the ball falls off the tee, so they'll reset it up.
Wind's starting to pick up a little bit now from the north, so Marino will kick this right into the wind.
And the Bobcat football team will hop back on the charter right after this one. About a 3.5-hour flight back to beautiful Bozeman. And the ball gets dropped again. I think now they'll have somebody hold it.
I think it's a teeing issue rather than a wind issue. I don't think the wind's blowing that hard to knock it off. Maybe that kicker just wants a little extra lean.
And a good high kick's going to come down to Corey Smith at about the 20-yard line. Smith needs a block to get outside. He does. Still on his feet, so the 5-yard penalty turns into about almost a 20-yard advantage for Montana State.
Well, as you can see on the replay here, Corey Smith is going to field this ball on the 20, essentially, and then really accelerate and get up the sideline. Excellent job right in front by Ryan Elliott and Chad Gloom, special teams experts for Montana State. Two Montana boys making some nice blocks to spring Corey Smith up the left sideline. Excellent field position for Montana State.
And Ryan Garrison, the starting linebacker, in on that stop on special teams.
Well, that's 2 in a row for Garrison. Again, Lule will go from the shotgun on 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. That's Turnquist in motion for Montana State. They're going to hand the ball to Ryan Johnson, and Johnson maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage before he is brought down by Broden. And let's go down to the sideline now to Jeff Lasky.
Guys, they ran it there, but the McNeese defense is worried about the way that Travis Lule picked them apart on the last couple of possessions. Word on the sideline, they want to start mixing things up, especially with the linebackers, so look for the McNeese defense to give them some different looks and maybe a little bit more blitzing.
They blitzed almost the whole game, sending somebody either from the secondary or from the linebacker position, but those linebackers will be a key, as Jeff just brought up.
But they haven't been stacking the line like they used to, although in this play they're certainly giving that indication.
And here they come. Lule still on his feet, will run the football. Still on his feet, will have a first down.
You can't coach what just happened there. It is just cool as a cucumber. Travis Lule, they are bringing the house. They've been successful in blitz all night. Watch this come into your living room, folks, as Travis Lule basically puts on blinders to the blitz, looks downfield, finds nothing, but then shows excellent speed to get upfield, get the first down, get out of bounds. You just don't draw it up for a freshman quarterback like that.
Yeah, so nobody's told him that freshman quarterbacks aren't supposed to do that.
And I don't think anybody in the Bobcat sideline probably will. Hey, congratulations goes out this evening to Carroll College. The Fighting Saints come from behind as Rob Luttrell comes in off the bench at quarterback, throws for over 300 yards, and Carroll College beats Southern Oregon at home in Helena today, 35-31. To advance to the 3rd round of the NAIA National Playoffs. A great job for Mike Van Diest and his squad.
I've been away from Montana for a while now, so the Petrino family no longer coaching at Carroll College?
No, the Petrinos they're all over the country coaching places, but Putter Petrino, the legendary coach at Carroll, is out. Mike Van Diest is the man, and he has done a whale of a job. They got to the semifinals last year as well, last 2 years for Carroll College, so congratulations to the Fighting Saints.
Travis Lule was not quite able to get the first down. They have 3rd and inches.
Long count now for Lule. And he'll just push forward and get that first down. And you know, a guy that, I think you brought it up, Marty, when Mateo Toyolola went in the ball game, it seemed to settle down Montana State's offense.
Evidently, experience is a wonderful thing, especially on that offensive line. The center position being so critical, that center exchange being so critical, and obviously right now, it would be Montana State at least tied if it weren't for that center exchange to start the second half.
1st and 10 now for the Bobcats. The ball sitting inside the 45-yard line in McNeese territory. 8:09 left, and the clock running here in the 4th quarter. Lots of time left in this one. They're going to fake the handoff. Lule has lots of pressure again. He's going to go downfield. The ball is picked off.
That's Rod Gully. That's his 9th interception of the season. And remember, he's taking 2 back for score, so he knows how to run with the ball after he makes the catch.
And here we take a look at it, Tommy, and just a little bit underthrown by Travis Lule.
Yeah, the wish book for Travis Lule ran out a little bit here as he does again a nice job avoiding the rush and getting outside. Finds an open receiver, but because he's running out, is unable to really set his feet and get enough strength and savvy to throw the football down the field to Aaron Hill, who was wide open, but obviously it was an underthrown pass. The secondary coverage of Rod Gully was right there. Nice interception.
So it's a 1st down now for McNeese State, and they're going to run the football as that's Krim.
That's a big hole for the Cowboys. Now you look at the weights of the men up front, 300 pounds, 304, 332, 279, 296, obviously a very big line for McNeese State.
Well, it's a quick play that McNeese State wants to bring it right out after a quick turnover. They want to hit Montana State hard right in the mouth. They're going to continue to roll that ball right in the middle between the tackles for as long as Montana State cannot stop the play. 7:30 left in the 4th quarter, and the clock running on the running play after the Krim will get the short yardage there to about the 45-yard line. But turnovers are critical, and that may prove to be a huge one. There's a Montana State was on the run, and Travis Lule doing a great job running the offense, but for that underthrown pass, that turnover, as any others in this game, could really spell the difference. Sadly, no mystery what the Cowboys plan to do here for the rest of the evening. And there's Jeff Hamilton, the tight end. That's the first time they've looked at Hamilton the entire ball game. Condarvis gets the first big tight end.
The all-conference selection. And a Bobcat down in the field. We'll wait and see who's down for Montana State. And we'll take a timeout. 6:52 left from McNeese State and Cowboy Stadium. McNeese leading the Bobcats on the PPL Montana scoreboard by 7.
Looking for rewarding home improvement for the holidays or just some everyday relaxation? Picture yourself in a soothing, therapeutic hot spring spa. Its exclusive motor massage jet gliding gently up and down your back. For enjoying company of family and friends or savoring time alone, a hot spring spa rejuvenates. Sabine Pool's wide selection guarantees your perfect fit. Imagine the pleasure of a hot spring spa for the holidays and all year round. They're on sale now for backyard living at its best.
You'll find it at Sabine Pools.
Kite Brothers has achieved it again. We have received the Circle of Excellence Award for the 11th consecutive year. Satisfying customers like you has accomplished this achievement. Not only do we sell the best RVs on the road today, we also provide the best possible service after the sale. Kite Brothers has the largest inventory in the area, ranging from travel trailers, fifth wheels, mini motorhomes, Class A's, to the big diesel pushers. Drive to DeRidda today and you'll see how for over 40 years, Kite Brothers has given you the best selection, service, and price around. Kite Brothers RV Center, DeRidda, USA.
It's our biggest sales event of the year at Lake Charles Toyota. We got big savings on all our great Toyota cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. 03 Corolla with air, automatic, and AM/FM CD is $14,495. And 03 Camry LE is $18,995 and 0% APR. Toyota's on savings extends to our pre-owned units also, like 02 Camry LEs for $17,495 and 02 Corolla LEs for $12,495. It only happens once a year at Lake Charles Toyota.
The fun is on.
To the 35-yard line.
Well, I think what we're seeing right now is exactly what McNeese State wants. They got a 7-point lead. They're 6:44 in the ball game. They've got a very large, dominating offensive line against a smaller defensive front for Montana State. Montana State's done an excellent job on its defensive front, stopping the run in the first and second quarter. But after a while, you got 300-pound offensive linemen pounding on 250-pound defensive linemen. The math works out in favor of the offensive line.
1st and 10 now, 6:30 left And the clock running as they give it to Luke Lawton as the crowd cheers.
To the 32-yard line.
And a gain of about 4 yards on first down. 6:15 left in the fourth quarter. Montana State needs to get a stop, trailing this one 21-14 as the clock continues to run. The play clock at 19, the game clock at 6:05.
The game does hang in the balance here for Montana State's defense. They have to make a stop here. They cannot go down by 14 points.
And Pendarvis is going to be hit and dropped.
Pendarvis is sacked.
And it was on a pass play. You wonder what's going on with McNeese State when they really have not had any difficulty running the ball between the tackles. In that case, Pendarvis is attempting to look outside to throw the ball, and Jason Nicastro busts free from the defensive nose guard position to really throw McNeese State into a position which they aren't excelling in, and that's 3rd and long. It's going to possibly create a passing situation.
And the clock running now with 5:26 left.
And certainly with the clock in McNeese's favor, all they need to do is keep the clock moving and try and burn some time.
And they're going to handle the ball off to Prim. Prim's got a little bit of room to the outside. Gets back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. And that should bring up a 4th and 10 in a punting situation for the Cowboys.
Those 2 plays were huge for Montana State when seemingly the advantage was to McNeese State and the Cowboys on their obvious dominance of running the football. Now you saw that on the replay, how well Montana State stretched that play out, 3rd and long. Difficult play for McNeese State to pick up 13 yards.
And Jason Nicastro there to lead the way for Montana State once again from his nose guard spot. You know, Tommy, he's a guy that transferred in from Cal State Northridge, a good student, has an initial degree, had 1 year of eligibility left because he was hurt the year before playing for the Matadors and spraining his ankle and at Northern Arizona. So here's a guy that comes in and just does a great job for Montana State as McNeese State takes a timeout.
You wonder where Montana State would be, and particularly in this game, because Jason Nicastro is really the biggest member of the defensive front. He's been big on these last 2 plays. He's the kind of guy that's approaching what you can handle against that big defensive line at 6'2", 273.
Cowboys took a delay of game penalty there, but it was declined by the Bobcats. Looks like they won't get that extra 5 yards they needed for the punter, Jason Cook.
That's nice gamesmanship going on.
Cook will punt back deep for Montana State as Corey Smith. .424 left in the fourth quarter. McNeese State leading Montana State by 7. And they're going to fake it. And a good play there for Montana State.
For about a yard.
I don't know if necessarily that's such a bad call because of where they are on the field.
Well, and the way Corey Smith has been returning punts, but very good job for Montana State of staying at home because that could have been a game breaker. Damon Goins at the safety spot. That is precisely his job, is to stay there in the middle of the field as a safety and make sure it's not a fake punt. But you're right, Marty. I think it was a worthwhile gamble.
4 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in this ball game. Montana State obviously has to make good use of the clock.
Montana State has good field position to start this drive on their own 34-yard line. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lule will go from the shotgun. Ryan Johnson is split wide to the right side. This is usually where they bring the pressure from the outside. Here it comes this time right up the middle, and Lule goes down.
That's B.J. McNutt. He's been the stalwart for the Cowboys, the senior out of Houston, Texas. He plugs up the middle as well as anyone, and there he showed a little mobility.
Well, Bruce, you touched on this earlier about Ryan Johnson really taking on a different role than what he's used to, and that is blocking at the tailback spot. That particular formation, there was no back there to pick up that last blitzing individual from the Cowboys, McNutt. So they go no backs. Now Ryan Johnson is back in there for a personal protection of Lule.
Second down, 17. 3:40 left in the fourth quarter. And a whistle. Let's go down to the sideline to Jeff Lasky.
Guys, we talked about McNeese State mixing it up. They've done exactly that. And now it's the Bobcats who are trying to figure out what McNeese is doing. After the last series, Coach Kramer talked with the offensive line and the running backs who are missing blocking schemes, and that's a big concern for them right now. Guys?
Thanks, Jeff. And the 5-yard penalty will be marched off against Montana State.
Yeah, this is not the point in the ball game where you want to be out there figuring out, well, what are they doing? What do we have to do? you really need to know what McNeese is going to come with.
3 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Glad you could join us for this 1AA football game. Lule from the shotgun. Pump fakes. Throws downfield. Now the ball is caught. And they're going to say he was bobbling the football out of bounds.
Wow. That's worth another look.
It's an out route. Pump fake by Lule to Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill has to go up on the sidelines. You see that it is seemingly being bobbled. It's close, though. Very good defensive coverage by,
Keith Smith out of Leesville, Louisiana, about an hour north, the home of Cecil the Diesel Collins, of course, who made news a few years back as running back at LSU.
Plays don't get any bigger than this. 3rd and
3 minutes, 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 3rd down, 22 for Montana State. Do you try to get it all back here? It's 4 down territory for Montana State now, trailing by 7. Here comes the blitz. And there goes Lule.
Big play by Ashiel Fairchild, who came in from the corner and just shut Lule down.
Ashiel Fairfield.
Guys, I don't know on the replay. It's clearly blitzed by everybody for McNeese State, gambling on the making more pressure than the ability of Lule to throw it downfield, and McNeese State did a great job of putting the pressure on.
With nearly 2.5 minutes left in the game, it's almost worth going for at this point, I would think.
Good snap. Nate Cook will get the punt away. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. And B.J. Sams waves for a fair catch. So now the clock becomes the big player in this one. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left. Montana State with 2 timeouts remaining.
I would think Montana State, to stop the clock, will have to do that almost immediately, burn a couple of timeouts, because you know at this point the Cowboys are just going to hand it off to their running backs and let them go right up the middle.
Well, and the Cowboys are designed to be the kind of team in the playoffs where they can have a lead late in the fourth quarter and run the football to keep time clicking off the clock.
Marcus Trahan in the backfield, and he's the one who gets the handoff but can't make anything of it.
Trahan gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Kenny Qualls making the stop for Montana State, and the Bobcats will take a timeout with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. Boy, it's been a lot of fun here from Cowboy Stadium tonight. Marty Briggs, Tommy White, Jeff Latsky down on the sideline, and Bruce Parker. And we are quite pleased you could be watching all over the state of Montana with Eagle Communications and KECI in Missoula, KCFW in Kalispell, KTBM in Butte Bozeman, KHBB in Helena, KFBB in Great Falls, and our good friends Bruce Cummings, Stan Whitman, Chris Byers at KULR-TV in Billings. Along with Scott Green, who's probably working tonight on the weekend show.
And let's not forget KPLC-TV in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
And across the state of Montana also on the 94 Omega Sports Productions channels. Glad you could be with us tonight in this one. The 1AA football playoffs. The winner of this ball game will face the University of Montana, the defending national champs. Congratulations to Joe Glenn and his squad for defeating Northwestern State of Louisiana this afternoon in Missoula, 45-14. Tommy, does that surprise you a little?
It's hard. It's hard for us being from the Big Sky and really only being exposed to 1AA Big Sky football. It's hard to judge the talent from the Southland Conference. The only team that I can judge tonight is McNeese State, and boy, they can bring it. They're very strong and physical, and they run the ball at you, and defensively they're even tougher.
And a timeout called once again. Now they're going to get things started with 2:25 left. 2nd down and 10. Is there enough time in this one for Montana State to get their hands back in the football and get a score? They're going to hand off to Trahan, and he'll be dragged down from behind by Kane Ione.
Well, that again, it just goes back to Kane Ione being the leader, the main staple of the Bobcat defense. He is the sure-handed tackler for the Bobcats, does a great job of stretching out and making sure that Strahan is brought down hard. Kane Ione is the best tackler, leads the team for the Bobcat defense in tackles.
It's obviously a very crucial play coming up for the Bobcats. If they don't really stop the Cowboys here, the Cowboys will most likely run out the clock, or at least run it down to a very low number and limit their choices.
1:42 left.
Pendarvis will run the quarterback draw, and will Montana State take a timeout? They will.
Once again,
1:34 left.
Excuse me, Bruce. Once again, Kane Ione playing smart, seeing the quarterback draw. Look at Kane react, and again, Jason DeCastro there to help. You couldn't ask the Bobcat defense to do anything more than what they did on that series. They're going to get the football back for their offense. Now it's incumbent upon Travis Lulay, the true freshman, to lead this team down the field with 1:34 left.
Now in this one, do you try to block the punt with no timeouts left?
I think they certainly will.
It's all or nothing right now for the Bobcats. I mean, if they want to continue their season, they've almost got to go for broke.
And let's get you caught up on some scores in 1AA football, the playoffs. Furman losing at Villanova 45-38. The Paladins, of course, in that championship game last year against Montana. Northeastern upset at home by Fordham 29-24. As we mentioned, the Montana Grizzlies defeat Northwestern State 45-14. Western Kentucky over Murray State 59-20. Western Illinois defeats rival Eastern Illinois 48-9. Maine upsets Appalachian State on the road 14-13. And Georgia Southern, always right there, they beat Bethune-Cookman 34-0. So everything's shaping up in the 1AA football playoffs, and we have to thank all the folks here at McNeese State University. They have been more than gracious hosts to the Montana State people and to our production company this evening. Cook's punt, kicked high in the air. Corey Smith's going to make the catch, and he fumbles the football.
That's not fair. The former quarterback turned tight end and special team star really comes up big for the Cowboys.
Well, there's really not much to say. You can see it all right here on the replay. Corey Smith trying to make something happen.
Uh-oh, do we have a flag on the play?
If there is a flag, it'd be a halo, but it doesn't appear that we see anything. Nope.
Oh, evidently you can't advance the fumble.
That should about do it with no timeouts left for Montana State. And McNeese State will take over 1st and 10 of their own 22-yard line.
Well, let's give credit where credit's due. It's Jared Ferrante. He's a huge center coming down on kick coverage, 6 foot, 272 pounds, running down into Corey Smith's face and causing the fumble and turning the game into a victory, apparently, for the McNeese State Cowboys late into the 4th quarter.
Cowboys intent on kneeling on the football and running out the clock. I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody expected to run over the Bobcats tonight, but by the same token, I don't think they were expecting this tight of a ball game. You've got a very good football team, and you guys should be very proud.
Well, it came over to a big turnover, and then finally in the end, the death knell was a special teams fumble, so 2 turnovers really were the difference for Montana State in having a chance to get back into this ball game.
Pendarvis intent to let the clock run all the way down.
And with 40 seconds left, that could maybe be the last play of the ball game, depending on how quick they get the ball spotted.
There go the cowbells.
And they'll have to kneel on it one more time. McNeese State will battle the University of Montana. That ball game more than likely will be down here next week, as the Cowboys escape as the #1 seed in this tournament with a hard-fought win over Montana State, 21-14. And that will do it.
The final score, the Cowboys 21. The Bobcats 14. We'll be right back here at Cowboy Stadium against Montana.
So there you see the final on the PPL Montana scoreboard. We're going to take a quick break and come back. We're going to take it away from here tonight. I'd like to thank Marty Briggs and Tommy White, Jeff Lasky. I'm Bruce Parker from Cowboy Stadium in Lake Charles, Louisiana, where tonight's the final. The McNeese State Cowboys 21, Montana State 14. Good night, and thanks for joining us.
Every city has a story to tell, with plenty of news to go with it. Today more than ever, it's important to stay current and informed with the latest news and information.